Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into session 34 of our DayTrippers campaign. Nash, Reggie, and Trae are on the run. They're trying to figure out how to deal with Somnambula, but I'll kick it over to Todd so he can give us a proper recap, and then we'll pick up from there.
Things have been so crazy, yo. And it's only been like 48 hours. The last couple days for you guys have been totally nuts. Bento suggested that you get off the grid, and that's one thing that you did manage to do. That's back there. I'm back 2 episodes now. Stay away from dark matter. Get off the grid. Lithium Jones will be a go-between. So you go basically torture this guy who coughs up the address of the warehouse owned by the Yellow Sunshine Gang. You go to the warehouse, you raid the warehouse, you get a bunch of shit, but you're chased out. Reggie gets hurt really fucking bad. Reggie gets hurt bad again. You meet a dude named Captain Bojangles who directs you to Dr. May, and you're now deep in like the worst part of Bozing. You're in Dragon Square in the middle of the sunken part of the city that was destroyed by the earthquakes and floods like a couple decades ago. You're surrounded by armed guards. You're in this, what used to be an electronics department store has been turned into a makeshift hospital where Dr. May treats Reggie's wounds and has a strange dream about Trae shooting him in the head, which turns out to be maybe a reference to Jarkus, the fellow that you first interrogated and then Trae shot in the head. Meanwhile, while Reggie's being healed, Trae is investigating the data spheres that you lifted from the gang's headquarters. He finds out that they were watching a darknet board called Terminatrix and suspects this may be where they got the contact to Somnambula that turned them onto the job, sent them after your asses. You meet a woman named Zelda of Bozing, who recognizes Nash from the Follow My Ass show. Believing she's on camera, she gives a big spiel about how terrible life is for the poor citizens of Bozing and all of the things that they need. She gets a rousing ovation from the people standing in line in Dr. May's makeshift hospital. And if I remember correctly, shortly after I think we closed the show, I do remember John, Reggie, I don't know if you're in character or not, talking about how we should do something to help the people of Bozing. Because she does go on for like probably about half an hour. And even though there's no camera there, she gets a standing ovation because the people of Bozing do indeed have it real bad. And by the way, wink, wink, if you and Scylla want to come up to her place, Zelda says, she goes both ways. So remember that.
It was in character.
It was in character. Good.
In character.
All right. So spending most of the episode, like just trying to figure out where you are, what's going on, what you want to do next, hanging out in that makeshift hospital in Bozing, you finally decide, all right, we got to get on the train. And Reggie, who's had this vision for a couple episodes now, comes clean with Nash and explains to him all the details of what he saw when he was in the tank healing the first time. That there's a building full of children that's going to be blown up by this dark-skinned fellow with dreadlocks. The dark-skinned fellow with dreadlocks was once a passenger in Reggie's cab a couple of years ago back in the city. Trae has perhaps enough information now to try to crack into City Cab and see if he can learn the details of that ride and maybe get this guy's name. But in the meanwhile, after buying some clothes and getting some train tickets, you hook Reggie up to a dream deck, dun, 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 where he successfully manages to recall the dream, and the other guys are able to see it. So you're sharing this visual information about the guy with the laptop and the dreadlocks who blows up the building with the children inside. And you see that on the back of his hand, there's a word tattooed, and that word is Slothrop. That's where we ended play. But I'll go ahead and include in here because it's kind of common knowledge, or at least Trae could dig this up real quick. Slothrop is sort of a mythical character. No one knows if the person is real or not, or who they actually are. They hang out on the dark net, and they distribute not only propaganda, but weapons to anarchist, terrorist, anti-civ revolutionaries all over the Western United States. That's who you guys are dealing with. There we are.
So we're in great company.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on in my head.
What? You're up? You're up already? Shit.
Yep.
Fuck.
I'm always up.
All right, Trae, do you have enough information to see if you can get this guy's
Wait,
name?
let me back that up just a little bit. I mean, maybe he's up, but you did, like, you took a comanapricil, which your tolerance has gone down, right, for that. So you took a nappy and you fell asleep in like 60 seconds. And you successfully forced yourself to have that dream again. So I say, yeah, you're up, but I think, got to be honest, you're probably kind of groggy and weird.
All right, so it's
right?
more like
It's only been 15 minutes since
Reggie.
you took the first. Well, no, he's Reggie. Like, he's Reggie, like on the verge of falling asleep. You know, when you're like in that beta stage.
perfect. I've got
Right.
it. So, anyways, my boy is slowly sleeping away, and everything's fine. And then he falls back asleep.
Fuck, we're gonna have to get him off the train. Are you gonna? Do you think you could pull the data? Now, like, could you like facial recognition? Like, what are you seeing there?
Yes, I could grab the person's face and run recognition on it.
Just grab his face.
If I can get into the servers for their system of their security, then yes, I could possibly do a cross-reference and find out, at the very least, where this person came from and went to.
All right. I mean that's a start. All right. We're gonna have to find a place to hold up. We got to get some wheels. I don't know how much time you're gonna need to do your. And he kind of like waves his hands in the air. Do your thing.
Do his thing.
He's already looking off.
So he's like trying to like
Pull it.
shake Reggie back awake again.
Wedgie. You say wedgie.
Shake your wedgie.
Shake wedgie. Grab his face and shake him.
And
Reggie with us?
no sooner have you said that than Reggie begins shaking his wedgie.
I'm shaking my wedgie.
Nash, you also remember. Oh, damn it! Scylla wants you to do a show. She's coming back tonight, but she needs you to do a show like before that.
Yeah. Look, we're out of character real quick. Are we anywhere near where the Anxious Arms is? Could we duck back in there? Spatially relationship, I'm not sure where we are in relation to that.
I think after you get off in Sacramento, you're closer to the Anxious Arms than we were pretending you were when we were back at your house.
Yeah. I think Mill Valley's probably not the right place for Nash's house just because it's so far from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's whatever. So
Yeah, because Bento put you up someplace close to Diaspora, and Diaspora is at the north edge of Sacramento.
yeah, we can revisit Nash's house some other time.
Yeah, so you're not too far from it.
So look, Trae, Reggie and I stayed at this place before, the Anxious Arms downtown in Sacramento. We can duck in there. It's one of those places we don't have to give a lot of information. Do you think you can spoof like a location for us to shoot? Like, I know it's low on the list of priorities, but Scylla wants me to shoot something tonight, and I'm thinking just something short, just to get something out there, but I don't want it to be tracked to our location.
Video effects are not exactly my specialty.
Not so much the video effects, just the signal. Can you bounce it off like a couple extra satellites or something?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay, so you'll need to locate an anonymizer and route Scylla's drone messages through it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fuck, right? Because if she, like, messages me or whatever, because so we turn phones off, right? Because we have the burners. So, like, nobody can get a hold of us now.
Well, not that you have to do it this way. You could use your phone. But Scylla's assumption was that you would, drive to her house and James would give you the drones and you would do it the way she does it.
Yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen. All right, help me with him, Reg. Come on, man. You got to get up.
If you wanted to, though, you could just shoot with the camera in your PDA, and Trae could patch it through.
Yeah. I'm thinking like guerrilla footage kind of thing. Like something new's coming up. Scylla's coming home. We've got big plans. Blah blah blah. Something that's just like a little teaser, as opposed to like a full blown show. Like I can't do a show.
Do we need a ride to this Anxious Arms?
Yeah. When the train pulls in, we'll need to get a car. Once we get settled in the hotel, I'm gonna have to buy another car since the Lambo's gone.
Yeah. By the way, the light comes on and there's a bing sound. You have about 60 seconds.
All right. I'll start. Trae will open up a window and he'll start ordering us a ride.
Okay.
Up and at him, Reg. Time to go get him.
Take me down to Wonderland, you beautiful bastard.
Nash is trying to like stuff shit back in boxes. He gets the dream deck and
Mr. Reggie.
Trae Mowaka. What's going on?
Just look at Nash. Be like,
okay, while Reggie's trying to stand up, he sort of stumbles backward into a family of people who look really offended, and then a couple other people start looking at what's going on. The fellow behind you is this fat man with a bald head that's like flashing like different. So he's got some sort of neural implant, and he's had his skin semi-transparentized so that you can actually see the workings of these cool LED lights in his head. And he is poking Reggie hard in the back with his finger and going, you, don't you disrespect me? And people are starting to turn and look at you all.
Sir, that is not a wise choice.
Nash, this man has Scylla's boobs on his head. Look at him.
Nope. Come on, hey, buddy. It's.
How'd you get there?
Right. And this guy is sort of a sort of a greasy, portly, like lower middle class dude, who, by the way, has a lot of tattoos. Some of those tattoos look ex-military, and he's taking a swing at you, Reggie. We're going into action frames.
Open arms.
You're at -2, and this guy takes a swing right at your face.
All right, so we're at -2.
You bumped into his wife.
Oh God, that sucks.
And didn't apologize.
No. Well, why would I?
Yeah, of course.
So -2, you're set. So I'm doing grace.
Yeah, this is gonna. And I want you to tell me whether you were. You see, he telegraphs a little bit. You see that he's about to throw a punch. You're not sure if this is real, but you've been in plenty of fights before. My question is: are you going to attack, defend, or do something else?
I think Reggie is just going. He's not going to attack. I'm going to try and defend. Would you say I noticed any of that like military stuff, or is that just Nash who would have noticed that? You know what? It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to be defending. That's all. So he would just sort of chuckle. Oh, and he puts his hands up in a defensive position that would lead to him being able to sort of trap his arm in order to like stop the momentum.
Okay, so you get to add your martial arts bonus, but -2.
I will do the thing.
From a grace roll. Here we go.
All right, my martial arts is
Got an 8, my friend.
That's going to be no good. I can only get a 6. I did get a 6 because My Little Pony, and that's all I got. Look out!
Yeah, Reggie. He connects squarely with the side of your jaw, and you go down. Taking, and this is the face. So we're gonna say 1 point of charm.
Oh no, my beautiful face!
You're gonna have a bit of a shiner right here.
Oh! He spits
Okay,
up.
So Reggie goes down. What are the other guys doing?
Oh, I'm
have
going
an
after him.
He hit me.
I'm going after him.
I guess we both do that. I'm like, God fucking damn it. He caught me.
Yeah. As the guy like follows through with the punch, Trae wants to like sidestep next to him and just throw all of his weight with his knee into the top of his shin into the side of the guy's lead knee. So he wants to just like completely buckle that shit in.
Ouch. Okay, so and he is not ready for you at all. So you need to beat a 6.
All right.
Classic shin buckler.
That's a 3 + 1. That's only a 4.
Oh. No, actually he actually manages to sidestep your move.
Big guy.
Yeah. And Nash
sidestepped into me.
I guess he's sidestepping into you. Let's see if you can beat a 6.
Yeah, so I see Trae move to the left, and I see him kind of getting in low, like maybe he's gonna throw him. So Nash just kind of shuffles the other way, and
You
he's
go
just
low,
gonna
I
come
go
down,
high.
fucking elbow to the back of the head.
All right, you need to beat 6.
Jesus.
So I rolled a 6, so that's gonna be an 8.
Nice.
There you go. This is a yes and.
Don't kill him.
Boom, take the back of the head. This guy is taking 1 point of health damage, and what else?
I want to say I knock him out, but I want to shit talk him. It intimidates him, I guess, right? So like
You can lay him prone.
Yeah. So like Trae comes in and kind of like misses, and the guy comes back, and then fucking Nash just comes down like fucking elbow to the back of the neck and like drives him to his knees, and he's like, I don't have fucking time for this today. Sit the fuck down.
There's all these people around. Okay, so the guy wipes some blood off his face and scowls at you, but he goes like this. He's just glaring at you, but he puts his hands up.
He says, Lieutenant on deck, motherfucker.
But the rest of the crowd is closing in around you, and now the train has come to a stop. The doors have opened, and there's people tightly packed between you and the door. And they're all really curious about what the hell's going on over here.
The walls are closing in. I'm going to do something stupid.
So I help Reggie up, and I'm like, Trae, grab that shit. It's time to go.
Go grab the box with the dream deck and everything.
The guy is still muttering something about how you need to apologize to my wife, and the wife actually slaps him and goes, "Not now, Ernest."
Would I get the sense that was aimed at me, that I needed to apologize, or am I just too far gone now that
Make a brains roll. Make a brains roll. Beat 4.
6 and a 4.
Yes, and you had a moment of clarity.
Oh, yes. I look right. I look at him and I say, I Sir, okay. Sir, I truly did not mean an offense. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling myself. So, and he looks at his wife and he says, I am truly sorry for whatever it was that I did. I hope it wasn't anything that was all too deserving of getting my entire face smashed in by your by your very strong husband. And then his head just like drops and some blood trickles out of his mouth.
She pats you and says, "It's okay. It's okay." He gets fired up sometimes.
It's a good man. I'm sure he's a good man.
And his children are helping him get to his feet, but he is deliberately avoiding eye contact.
So Nash gives him like a fucking jaunty salute that ends in a fucking finger as we're walking off this fucking train.
And Reggie's trying real hard to make eye contact with him. Trying to like use his lucid dreaming to bend his eyes around. Come on, make eye contact.
Semper, fuck you.
Nash is not making eye contact with me. I don't like it.
It's fine. It's fine. We got bigger fish.
All right, and Reggie is still trying to make eye contact while the two of you pull him off the train.
Look at me. I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean anything if you're not looking at me.
I bet you the other Reggie would have squashed you down to the floor, you fucker.
Now I'm just dragging him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys do get him off of the train, but as you're getting him off the train, you see that one of the train security guys has now sort of entered that area, and people are pointing in your direction.
Yeah, I mean, we're just walking because I'm assuming Trae was like, yeah, no, the car's going to pick us up at the end of the terminal or whatever. So we're just walking to where the car is inevitably going to show up.
Okay, so you guys are like maybe 10 meters away from the train when you hear a voice call from back there. Excuse me, you three.
Do we just
Excuse me. Stop. Railroad security.
Is that a real thing? I feel like
Yeah, not only that, but it sounds like it's coming from like a 19-year-old kid.
that's even worse.
Yeah.
So Nash will stop.
I mean, to be fair, he's only a couple years younger than Trae.
But
Nash
Trae, I don't know if
will
Trae can technically say he has an age, right? Because you've got all the mechanical stuff. You're more of like how old is the machine, you know?
I don't know. It's the
machine-
ship of Theseus problem, but he's still got a lot of human parts.
Okay. So it's the
I'm still
average
like
of the
eight-
human age
yeah.
and the machine age. Yeah, I get it.
I'm still like 87% human.
Okay. All right. Good.
No
I went
robo
a
limbs
little
yet.
higher, but that's all right. Yeah. 87. So Nash just
Okay,
stops.
this kid is still calling. Okay, it's not. He's jumping off the train now, and he's sort of like trotting in your direction, calling out, "You three guys, I need to talk to you.
Hey, we should probably.
This is a security measure."
No, we should stop. We should stop or something because
Look, just keep going. The
Okay.
car's going to be here in a minute, right, Trae?
I'm at your mercy. So
Yeah, Trae will actually look up into his window, and he has a message from the rideshare company that says insufficient funds, ride canceled.
no.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
I mean, I'll go with it, but I just want to know why you hate yourself so much.
Yeah, that's Nash's job.
You can, because I was about to say you can see the car from where you are, but there's this scrawny kid in a security uniform. It's about the same distance, and he's running this way.
Let's make him pay for it. Let's make him pay for it. Come on. Oh God.
Because it's a
Wondering if-
nominal
no,
thing,
that's-
right? So, like, even if you have a mega,
Okay, so here's the thing. Right
Oh
now,
no, I'm thinking.
Okay.
No, I was thinking what I could hack, but there's really. I was wondering if I could like. I mean, even if I get into the system, then I can't like send an alert to this. I was wondering if I could like send an alert to this guy to pull him off our ass.
I mean, if the car is
he could probably be upon you by the time you were in the system.
Right, yeah.
If you guys break into a run right now, you'll make it to the car before he makes it to you. If you don't break into a run right now, he'll probably reach you before you reach the car.
But Nash is also like half dragging Reggie as well.
That's true.
I mean, is he like Nash will stop if Reggie can walk, and I will push you guys towards the car. If
Okay, so you look at it from his point of view, there was an altercation on the train. He's not sure who started it, but somebody definitely got punched back there, and so he needs to hear the other party's side of the story. Yeah, he's just doing his job, right?
It was me. I'm the one.
It was me.
I'm the victim here. Okay.
Okay, so what I need to know is, are you booking it for the car, or are you turning and facing the music?
So if there's legitimately a car, Nash would push you two guys towards the car. He'll stop for a minute. But like
I'll take Naya. I'll be Reggie's crutch.
Okay. So Nash,
I have the box under one hand, an arm around Reggie, so that Nash can stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are hurrying toward the car. Jack turns to face the security guard. The kid comes up to you. He's breathing real hard. He's looking past you, and he's going, "I need to speak to your friend. Excuse me, sir."
So like he puts a hand out.
You're going to need to make a roll of some kind. I mean, maybe rhetoric, maybe acting, or maybe punch this kid in the face. I don't know, but he's going to try to get around you. It's not you he wants, it's Reggie.
So if he like stops and is like, I need him, and starts to like move around, Nash grabs his shoulder and like pushes him back in front of him. And he says, "Look, buddy, I don't have fucking time for this. That guy punched my friend in the face, and we've got somewhere to be. So I suggest you just go back and sweep the fucking train because we're leaving."
I like this new Nash, Trae.
I know. Give me a roll. Make this charm plus rhetoric or acting, whichever you want.
Let's see. It's the same. We'll go.
I don't think you're acting, right?
It's not really rhetoric either. It's more of like an intimidate thing, but I don't have that.
Yeah, but I would class that as rhetoric. Really, I use the word rhetoric because it's so ambiguous. It could mean anything from intimidation to seduction to stirring the public spirit.
I got a 5.
He swallows hard and goes, okay. Just put me down. I don't get paid enough for this.
You don't. And then he just like pushes him away from him and just turns around and walks to the car.
And as you're walking away, you hear him talking into his radio, his little lapel radio. And he's like, no, it's nothing. I'm just cleaning up here.
I wonder, he's in the age bracket, probably he watches Scylla's show, so I wonder if it dawns on him like a half an hour, like, oh, fuck.
In this particular instance, you did not see a glint of recognition in his eye.
Yeah.
All right, now we're out of there, right?
Yeah, they're not dressed up either, right? So they're like in almost like tourists' clothes. He's got like a bag of guns on his shoulder, like.
Yep, you remember that Trae did the shopping for you guys, so you're wearing like garish animated T-shirts with colorful cartoon characters on them.
Yeah, hats.
Right. What did they say? They said something.
I think one of them was.
I'm sure they all said different things.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got Nash a Scylla one.
Nice.
So it has
unironically.
So it has like Scylla's animated ass on the front, but then the back says "Follow my ass."
The little animated logo, like her ass cheeks go back and forth.
Yep.
Like this. Hypnotic.
Something about like silhouette, like something gross.
And like the SS, her initials form the SS in the word ass, and they just sort of wave back and forth.
No.
It's good branding. It's good branding.
It's branding.
Quality branding. Going after a key demographic. I understand.
All right, we're in the car. Where are we going?
Anxious Arms.
Okay. All right. Easy enough. The auto driver just begins piloting its way there.
Is there a
It's
way
gonna take like an hour or so, for maybe more, for Reggie to really be fully cognizant. Unless you like pour coffee into him or something.
Pour coffee directly into my veins.
I don't think we would stop anywhere.
No, just keep going.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's probably going to be wobbly for a while.
How long would it take us to get to the hotel?
Oh, not long. 20 minutes.
Okay. Is there a way for us to pay without using our actual information? Like, I'm assuming that the Brandon Nashim and Stephen Tkach identities have been completely burned. It's like we don't have any access to stuff like that.
I actually think that Bento might have taken those back.
Yeah.
He did. I believe he did. I have a weird memory of them not being available for some
Right,
reason.
because there wouldn't be any need for us to have them.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like something we
Right.
just hang on to.
And I already did all of my quality article writing. Brandon Nashim is now in the Hall of Fame of writers.
Okay, so for stuff like this, what most people do is they get what they call hard credits, which is basically a card, and you just load it up. It's like giving somebody a pre-filled debit card.
But the only way to do
You
that
can
would be
do
to
that.
access our...
Yeah, you'd have to go to an ATM or a money changer or something.
So I think that maybe after they leave the...
Or you could
train
just
station-
try straight barter if you have anything worth bartering.
Well, so it was like an auto thing, I think. The last time we were there wasn't anybody... Or no, I guess there was a guy at the...
No, there was a guy.
Because he wanted to have champagne with Reggie.
Yeah, and he also wanted to know if you guys were like paying for the room by the hour or by the day.
Yeah. Shit. Trae, what do you think those spheres are worth? You think that's something we could barter with? You said a couple of them were empty, right?
Yes, a few of them are. I do not believe they would be worth much, though. At least not enough to rent a room.
Shit. What else we got in that box? Anything that's any good?
Well, you've got a micro camera and a remote control unit for it with all the software.
We have a dream deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's got Hello Kitty. It's a Hello Kitty AR headset too. Don't forget that.
No, you just got that. We're not. You're going to need that.
Reggie, are you wearing that right now?
I don't think I ever took it off.
He probably is. He probably is.
broken.
Yeah.
Now that I've been
And I'm trying to assign odds here, and I'm thinking, geez, why would the owner of a questionable motel want a micro camera and remote control? What on earth?
A couple of reasons.
What on earth would that person want that for?
Yeah.
probably not a good. That doesn't sound right.
Probably none of our damn business. That's,
Should we make it our business? That seems.
Look, if it gets us a room for a night or two, that's all we need. I don't want to be tapping an ATM. I don't know how much surveillance they're going to have on us. I mean, he has all the resources at his disposal, so we want to be as off the grid as we can be.
All right, but if he's doing shady shit, you know what?
I mean, he's probably got cameras set up already, so I don't. I mean,
That's true. The harm's already been done. So.
yeah. I mean, again, bigger fish to fry.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right,
You
Reggie.
feeling all right?
Nope.
No, you're not feeling all right. As a matter of fact, when you just heard bigger fish to fry,
Yeah, I'm
and
hungry
you got
now.
this. Yeah, well, not only that, but you got this vision of a bunch of fish, and they're all laying in pans.
Mhm.
And there's like hundreds of them. It's like a big, huge, like you're in a warehouse full of fish, and they're big. They're like
huge.
the size, they're human size, and they're all laying in these rectangular pans, floating in like a blue sauce. And then the fish all start to sit up, and they have human faces, and then it like you're back in the real world.
Shit! Oh god,
What?
they're gonna put tin foil under those things. What are they doing? Just right on the pan. Also, some sort of glaze. I don't know how to cook fish.
What are
Anyway,
you talking about?
just the faces on the fish. Don't worry about it. They're too big to fry. What?
Yeah, nope. That's par for the course.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll go for that, and then we'll find out about the fishes, and also we'll kill this guy for taping people illegally. No, you said, what did you
Mr.
say?
Reggie, it says here. It says here, as long as you use oil and have the fish skin side down, then you do not need to use foil if you are frying.
Shit, that's Trae. That's right. Okay, so what was the blue liquid for then?
I do not know.
Was it milk?
Damn, like blue milk.
Is that
No,
a
it
thing?
was more. It was thicker than milk.
Yeah,
it was
like
more
viscous. It was viscous blue liquid. I thought it was
like
some sort of glaze.
slime,
Yeah, slime.
gel. Yeah,
Like, remember that shit that clone boy was floating in? It was sort
mucus,
of like that.
mucusy.
Huh.
Yeah, like a mucusy, viscous.
You should probably write all this stuff down because maybe this has something to do with whatever the hell else is going on.
I mean, like a memoir. I should write a memoir.
Sure.
I believe they call it a dream journal.
Oh, that's fun. I'll start journaling. That'll be fine. That'll work. That'll be good. That's it. I'm gonna start journaling all of my strange things.
I had a Clutch member that was required to keep one because she kept attempting to act out violent tendencies
Oh,
that she saw within her dreams.
okay.
Perhaps it will help you.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything violent. That wouldn't be good for anyone.
We are at the Anxious Arms, and my question is, who is going to try to convince the clerk behind the desk to accept barter for a room?
I'm assuming it's not Trae. I'm assuming
I'm
it's probably
awesome
me.
at bartering.
Well, it's the social part that's.
I've got
the one thing
facts
that
on-
Trae could do is he could probably rattle off the technical specifications of this unit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which the guy would not understand, probably.
Depends on what kind of camera systems he's already running.
Oh, listen, can I get this under a door without anybody noticing is what I
I know. I'm seeing John go, okay, maybe you can do it. Maybe you can do this. I'm batting for you, dude.
Yeah, Trae, you want to? I mean, if you got all the specs, I don't know. We're gonna need that information. You want to be my wing guy? Unless you think you can handle it.
I believe as the leader of the team that it would be of better priority for one of you to take on that. I shall accompany, though.
All right, fair enough.
If he requires any specs on the hardware, I can fill that in.
And I'll watch your six.
All right, I like it.
Like a direction.
All right. So the thin gentleman with a very well trimmed mustache, he probably spends a lot of time trimming and perfecting every hair in his mustache. He's sort of looking himself in his PDA. He's got his mirror app on, admiring himself when you guys come in. And he seems to be in a really good mood and maybe a little bit high. probably caught him at a good time. What are the finer of your argument here?
Well, so is there any glimmer of recognition when we come in? At least Reg and I would be. I mean, I have a level of fame, at least one level of fame.
He does not seem to recognize you. He does look up at the two of you, but he goes back to looking at himself and touch a little blemish that he has. And he asks you kind of idly, by the hour or by the day?
By the day, and you look fabulous, by the way. Like, as he's doing you know what I mean?
Oh, he turns to face you and flashes a brilliant smile.
Oh, shit.
Why, thank you. And what can I do for you today?
We need a place to hold up for at least the night, maybe a couple of days. The problem that we have is that, I don't have access to my funds at the moment. We're in a bit of a strait at the moment, but we do have this. Trae, what's this camera called? What is micro camera? Is that what this is?
Yes, it is a remote microcamera.
Okay, the guy leaps to his feet, turns bright red, points at the door. I don't need your fixed shit in here. I told that fucking trash dealer time and time again. This is a business establishment. Everything is above. And he's like looking around. And he's like, you have to leave, sir.
I meant no offense. So it just we're in a bit of a bind. I was hoping that we'd be able to make a deal. That's all.
Could Trae get the gist of what he's doing? Like, I am assuming he's looking for cameras. Could Trae make that same assumption?
It looks like he may indeed be looking for cameras.
Right.
He's eyeing the two of you as well. Like, looking you up and down, maybe for signs of weapons or signs of a badge.
Could I look for a signal?
Yeah, there's all the normal public utilities and a local server network and a database storing media archives that can be rented out.
All right. He's more so looking to see if the hotel itself has like a private network or something that the security system might be running off of.
Yeah, there is a private network here, and it's connected to the computer just behind the desk next to where the guy's sitting. And now he is going on and on about, I don't want any of your fitted crap, and or defitted. I'm sorry, any of your defitted crap. So what that means is stuff that's been stolen and had the identifying RFID removed or the serial number filed off, basically. And in the bad parts of town, you often find people who are trying to trade stolen goods that they've defitted, that they've removed the tracers from. So that's what he's assuming you guys are doing, because it actually happens a lot.
Does this stuff have the stuff scratched off of it? I mean, Nash wouldn't have even thought to have looked at that.
See no signs of physical removal, but it's really the digital trackers you need to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get this from a hardware store.
No, this is the stuff from what's his name's room. From the gang leaders.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I thought. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the micro camera.
I
thought this was stuff we picked up when we were at the docks impromptu office.
No. No, this belonged to the Yellow Sunshine gang.
Gotcha.
The head dude. This is probably the equipment that he used to, grab some of those data spheres. Remember that he was focusing on people who were local, physically nearby, right here in the city. This guy is not taking any part of it. He is absolutely convinced that you are just a bunch of burglars who are trying to pass off stolen equipment.
I mean, we do kind of stand out.
He also seems to be suspecting that this is a sting of some kind, that you might be cops, and so he's very loudly protesting that this is a completely lawful establishment.
I don't have a good argument, but I do have psychology. Could he take a tack something along the lines of, like just one night, we'll give you the 5-star, like the Black Mirror, like, we'll give you the 5-star treatment. Like we've never been here.
Everybody gives me the 5-star treatment. Look at me.
Well, of course. I mean, of course.
Look, if you can pay in cash, fine. If you can't, look, I don't want your stuff.
Fuck.
I'll accept hard money, electric money, but it's got to be money.
Shit. Do you guys have any cash on you? Like, I don't think Nash probably ever carries cash, right? Because it's a
Very
virtual.
few people do.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. We'll have to come back with cash then.
That's what I'm saying.
He kind of holds up his hands placatingly, and he's like, "All right, we'll come back. No offense."
Okay, look, and I thought you were with those other guys who were here before, so forgive me, but this kind of shit happens all the time. Just, you know what I said.
Yep.
It may not be with the same guy, but I'm not playing any of these games. Okay?
Sure. Yep.
Lawful establishment.
So I guess, like, as he's mumbling, we sort of like walk out.
What the hell was that?
Well, I mean, we were here before. If they're renting by the hour, it's not that lawful of us. Whatever.
Put up a hell of a show there for no one. Unless someone was watching him.
Maybe he's been busted before. Look, I mean, if we're going to tap an ATM, it's got to be across town, right? Or we tap one here and then find another place to stay. Like, we can't be tapping cash somewhere near where we're going to be at. I maybe I'm being crazy about it, but if they're watching us, I mean, if they know we're in Sacramento, that's one thing. It's big enough. But if we hit the ATM outside of the fucking building, like, that's a pretty good giveaway, I think.
Do we still have the car?
I'm assuming the car took off when we went in, yeah?
It's gone. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the car's gone.
Well, this is quite the pickle.
Unless you could find someone else who might be willing to buy this thing.
Yeah, but who's going to, again, if someone doesn't have, like, hard cash, it's a matter of access.
Oh, yeah. You need to find a guy who's, like, basically a fence, a pawn shop, a shady dealer of some kind. Yeah.
Trae, can you jump on online and see if you can find us a pawn shop or a fence or something like that? We could.
Nobody advertises as fence, but
I mean, he's just thinking out loud, right? I mean, he doesn't know.
It's under F.
F for fence.
Well, so like,
yeah, he'll bring up a really quick map search for pawn shops nearby.
I mean, John would say, like, go to the dark web, but I don't think that Nash would have that. concept.
Well, the problem with that too is that you need specific addresses. Like I can't just like do a search and find like some shady
guy in the corner.
man. Right? Yeah. Like you actually need like a specific address to go to in order to do that kind of stuff.
And you do have some addresses in that notebook, and you also have the address of the Terminatrix port. The fact of the matter is, Trae probably, with a little bit of work, Trae probably could sell this thing on the dark net. But could he sell it like in minutes? Probably
right.
not.
It would. Right.
It would take some time. I mean, maybe days.
Yeah.
You got to find a buyer who wants it.
Yeah. All right. Look. So. We tap an ATM and take off across town. I mean,
probably the best idea. It's probably the best option.
Yeah,
unless you can like spoof. Can you spoof the ATM to make it seem like it's on the other side of town? Is that, or am I grossly overestimating what can be achieved here?
Well, it's theoretically possible, but it would involve a whole lot of difficult rolls.
All right, fuck it. He like looks around. I'm sure there's probably an ATM like on the street near the hotel, maybe.
Oh, everywhere, yeah.
Look, we'll do it here. If they think, if somebody is watching, then they'll think we're here, and then we'll head across town. It'll only take us a couple of minutes to get a car.
What if we do a thing where we get 2 rooms, but we only put 1 room in like your name, and then we're in the other room, and then we do like the whole thing where we're watching the room that's under your name from the other room, right? And maybe when they come and they try and like, but we're watching them. Is that?
I mean, we could, but do
like
we want to get into
a thing?
Well, but do we want to get into a firefight in a hotel? Like that seems
we
like
wouldn't
really
be getting
bad.
into a fight. It wouldn't be though. It would be like we're in the other room. You see, we're in the room that's not under anyone's name, right? And we're watching the room to see who goes there, right?
I mean, the who is not really relevant, right? I mean, we know Ingwe's behind the whole thing.
And in Reggie's head right now, it's like you're seeing yourselves watching yourselves, and then you zoom back, and there's another you watching yourselves, and then you zoom back again. It's like infinite regress of you watching yourself, watching yourself, watching yourself, watching yourself.
Reggie immediately opens his dream journal and writes that down.
He just turns it away.
But then all of a sudden it turns to the Lord of the Rings movie where they did that to the and he's like, see, it works like that.
Oh no, Reggie. This is worse than that.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's not good. That's about as bad as it could get. How could it get worse?
Richard, this is the center of the singular Reggie.
Oh!
Every Reggie looking at every other Reggie, and they're all lined up.
Oh,
you're
it's
in
like
the center.
That shitty scene in that Soul
You realize right now you're connected to all the other Reggies. This moment. What do you do?
He puts a hand up, and to see if will we all do the same thing.
All of the hands go up.
Hello.
All of the Reggies say hello. All of the Jacks and Trays look at each other and then turn to look at all of the Reggies.
What? I try and touch one of the other Reggies. Shake my hand, Reggie.
All right, so you reach out to touch your own shoulder. At the moment you touch your shoulder, you feel fingertips touching your shoulder.
Reggie turns to look
and passes out.
Fuck.
Reggie falls to the ground with a trickle of blood coming out his nose. And the strange thing is, at the moment that he At the moment, you see him reach out, you guys. You see him reach forward like to nothing. And just before he falls down, you both hear this high-pitched ping sound. It comes out of the sky. It comes out of fucking nowhere. Bing! And then he falls to the ground. And he's bleeding out his nose. And you guys feel like somebody... There's nothing to explain this, but that ping sound was real and not real at the same time. You both heard it.
So I think Nash is like at the ATM pulling out like 5 mega, right? Like, because God knows, like he hears Reggie talking, so he kind of like looks over his shoulder and sees him reaching. It's like shakes his head and goes back to the keyboard, and then there's the ping, and he turns around like, "What the fuck?"
Well, first you hear him say hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an echo of 1,000, a million hellos through the whole, through all of reality.
And it's like, oh, fuck. Like he turns to go like grab him, and he's like, oh shit, and he turns back and he like takes the money out of the thing, and then he runs over to Reggie. He's like, Trae, what the fuck happened?
Everything feels a little bit different.
He reached
The
out
light,
and
the
then
sky,
collapsed.
your body, the air, something. You can't put your finger on it. Everything feels like you just stepped into this body, like you were unconscious a minute ago and you just woke up. It feels like you just woke up, but you were already awake. You can't explain it. Jack and Trae, you both feel this way. Reggie, you in your unconscious state are submerged beneath layers and layers of blue goo.
Oh no. There's no tin foil. Shit. I look around. I look around at the blue in the liquid. Oh no.
You're in a tank.
Oh god,
It's about the size of a. It's about the size of a coffin.
Fuck.
Okay, you guys hear Reggie say that. What are you doing?
I'm trying to pick him up off the ground, and I'm like, Trae, do you feel? Did he do something?
Trae will do something he doesn't normally do, and so we've talked about how he has layers within his system, and he mostly only converses with the micro programs, his micro bots. He will call on the DM.
Ooh.
It's
Okay,
and
so
he
you're
will
super AI?
yeah, he's gonna direct connect with the super AI to have it run, and so he'll call down the DM, which is like this big cloaked figure that just like comes down into his view, and he will run a complete body scan in system scan, search for all errors or abnormalities.
Man, you're talking like Reggie now. What?
Oh no.
What's the bonus on that system? Plus what?
We didn't assign it a specific bonus, but it is an MK3.
It's Mark III. Okay.
Yeah.
Your report comes back empty. Your system tells you that it senses no anomalies, except for a couple minor bugs on the fringes of the system that you were already aware of, a couple processes that you sometimes forget to close that are still running. Everything seems totally normal, but you do have one unread message. And this message was sent 2 days ago.
And that's weird because he has like...
Oh, yeah.
notifications for if he has none. So he'll bring over his messaging and open it up.
All right. It's a string of numbers and letters. It's encoded. I need a brains roll. Pete 3.
It's a 4.
Okay. You recognize this cipher as one that you and your classmates frequently used, and so it's easy for you to transpose it and read it. It just takes you a minute to look at it and figure it out in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Silas, who's one of your siblings who specialized in OPSEC.
Mm-hmm.
It was written a couple days ago and says, "They're cutting you loose, but don't worry. It's not real."
And he'll then go and he'll open up the meeting room that they usually go to. I can't remember exactly what it was, that football website, the Blue Bombers. That's it. So he'll go to argofans.com into the Blue Bombers prospects forum. And
okay, so
just,
remember last time you came in here and you had contacted them with the skull hello message. And
exactly,
they had replied 53 = 86 with a shrug emoji.
Yep.
That reply is not here.
And he'll just go in and do 626 shrug question angry face.
Got it.
And then so all that processes, and then he turns back to Reggie and goes, is he okay?
And that all happened so quickly that at this point, Reggie is just ending the word fuck. His eyes are shut. His nose is still bleeding. You don't know what he's looking at, but he just said fuck.
Nash is like gently slapping his face. He's like, "Hey, Rich, are you in there, man? Are you in there? You all right? Talk to me, buddy."
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Yeah, you're aware, like in another layer of reality, you hear Nash's voice. It sounds far, far away.
Oh, okay. Let me try this. Shit. Blue tank. Blue tank. The singularity is real. I knew it. I'm in a blue tank. And he just repeats that.
Mr. Reggie, how big is this tank?
I think I'm dead. I think I died.
Reggie, you open your eyes to answer the question, to try to get a sense of how big the tank is. It's like a coffin. It may be a little bit larger than a coffin, but it's square. Rectangular. And you also feel that on the other side of the blue goo, somebody's watching you. You can't see them. You just know they're looking through the goo at you.
Am I okay? So,
and they're very curious about you.
Can I tell if I'm lying down or if I'm upright?
You're lying on your back.
Now, would I be able to tell if this is the same freaking thing that we saw in the upper floor of Somnambula building that one time forever ago?
You know what? This seems exactly like that.
Fuck. Okay, so I noticed this person. I can't make them out. Really? I can just see that they're watching me?
You just feel watched.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to say anything. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me think. Hold on.
You feel like you're laying on your back in a sunken, like a table of some kind filled with gel. And there's someone leaning over and looking down at you. You feel their presence.
All right. So I'm in a liquid, but I can still speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. Oh God. Yeah, so he just says blue tank. Blue tank. Then he sort of stops like that's the moment that he notices that someone's there. Oh. Blue tank. Some top floor.
Nash, brains roll.
Some names. Lucy.
Yeah, beat it 3.
I got a 5.
You know exactly what he's talking about.
Shit. Trae, this is fuck. Look, we get a car. We got to get out of here. Come on, Reg. Come on. And he's trying to stand him up, whether he's conscious or not. He's just like, come on, we got to go. He's like, call up for down the street. But he's picking him up, and he's just kind of like starts walking down the street.
Orders, drops the pin a block away from where we are.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
All right. Yeah, you guys have to actually work hard to carry him. He's not really responding. And he's barely conscious. You've carried him drunk before. This is worse. He's almost dead weight.
I'm here.
Trae has the feet.
We've got the box on him.
Do I feel anything of this, or am I present? But I can hear them through the.
It kind of feels like 2 realities are going on at once, but the one in the blue gel is the more real one.
All right, I'm going to try to hang on to the not real one. I'm going to make a concerned mental.
You're swaying a little bit. Somebody's carrying you. You
Right.
feel that you're being carried. Yeah, you feel something being sat on your chest, on your stomach.
All right, okay. All right. So as much as I can, I'm going to hold on to that reality as I see it, and just continue to tune into it. I'm going to try whatever I need to, like whatever sort of.
Yeah, you want to make a psyche roll.
Yeah, okay. Am I doing any just straight up psyches?
Let
me see.
Yeah, you do not want to use lucid dreaming right now. That could make things worse.
Yeah. Is any of this feel?
This is just a straight up psyche roll. Just tell me how well.
Anything about this feel familiar, or is that part of this? Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Oh, come on. Oh God, that's a 4. A 4 is the highest. You failed me. You failed me, My Little Pony. 4. That's the highest I have.
Part of you says no. I don't recognize this at all. Nash and Trae are carrying me. They're putting me in the car. I can feel it. But another part of your head insists that no, you're in the tank. You've always been in the tank. Always.
Okay. Shit.
And now you guys have got his body into the car, and he's kind of slumped over, but he's all in. I need to tend to a cat fight. Hang on.
Perfect timing, guys. I'm actually freaking out. No, because I'm in the tank. I'm in the tank, man.
One of the Reggies is in the tank. Which Reggie?
But was
Is a Reggie in the tank?
In another universe, is Reggie in the tank?
Is the Reggie in the tank?
No, because you're the Reggie.
Do we know that?
Am I?
We don't know if he's the Reggie.
I got out of it.
This is the second weird.
He could be in the
reality
Reggie right
weird
now.
event that happened. Yes.
So
Hey.
Todd
Now this
said he
one-
won the singular Reggie.
I touched the singularity.
Yes, but he could.
He
Yeah,
touched
he
it.
could be. Yeah, he is within the singularity, but that doesn't mean he is. He's in. He could be in contact with it,
Yeah.
or the singularity could be the culmination of all Reggies in a singular point of contact that they all share.
Well, that's so.
There doesn't
yes,
necessarily have to be a single Reggie, but more so like a collection point where all of them meet.
So point of order. There was also infinite U's and Nashes in that sort of mirror world. So it's not like it's just essential. I'm just.
But you're the foci.
The foci. Well, only because. But the thing is, it's like I am not going to believe.
You're the folk guy?
I'm the folk. I'm
guy.
the folk guy. Hee-haw. No.
It kind of feels like at that moment, all of the Reggies were doing the same thing.
Yes.
And the fact that they were all doing the same thing made everything line up, like all the planets lining up. That perfect moment.
Yeah, it was. And there was this, right? It's like the convergence from the Dark World Thor movie. Everything just sort of streamed together. I can't say I wasn't hoping that would happen, but I'm not happy about it. So, okay, all right. So this is where we are. I'm trying to hold on to that reality that I remember, but I oh, fuck. Okay,
Yeah, because
so
maybe
I'm
you get
basically-
something from that.
but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold on to it and also keep in contact with what I'm perceiving to be real. Yeah, and I mean, Reggie is forming conclusions. So just so you know, Todd, Reggie's trying to form conclusions, but like, so he's thinking. So whatever that entails, as far as like whether or not it can even come to the conclusion, is whatever, like with roles or whatever. But if I really feel like the true reality is like the bubble world, I mean not the bubble, the goo world, I'm trying to hold on to that other one because I truly believe that it's one of infinite. So I'm trying to hold on to it to learn.
Yeah. You're feeling both worlds. The blue goo world seems more real to you. And it's kind of like you're kind of starting to feel like maybe you just woke up from a dream that Nash and Trae were carrying you into a car. Maybe that didn't actually happen. Maybe you've always been in the goo.
Reggie just he just says bigger fish to fry. Hey, can you? Shit! Is there still someone looking at me? Is there still someone watching me?
Yeah.
Can you? Hey! He yells at that person.
All right, and Jack and Trae, everything that Reggie says, you guys hear. He's talking to people who aren't there.
Yeah.
Hey! No answer? Nothing?
There's no answer. It's
I
so
don't
damn
think he can hear
quiet
me.
here in the goo, and it's always been so quiet and so alone.
Can you guys still hear me? Oh no. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we're here, Reg. We're here with you.
Don't let me go. Just don't let me go. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to make sense of it, but there's someone else here. Don't let me go, please. Reggie, he actually kind of sounds concerned. I think Reggie's concerned right now.
Reggie's very concerned. In fact, his whole body kind of goes rigid. You guys watching me like stiff, he extends his arms and he extends his legs. He spins his fingers and his toes, and it's like kind of trembling with all the muscular energy, just kind of like bracing his entire body. And he clearly has a hard-on.
Yep.
I mean, that's
jeez.
That's standard practice. For Reggie.
Just don't make
knocks,
it. Don't make it
knocks
weird.
the box. It knocks the box off his lap.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Listen,
There's something
let me go.
about the feeling, Reggie. You don't have any clothes on in the blue goo, and the blue goo feels nice on your skin. It's cool and wet and not cold though. And it's yielding, and it's always been here, but you suddenly become aware of it on your dick. It just feels you start gyrating and fucking it, and suddenly it starts taking form, and before you know it, you're in a state that you remember. You're in the throes of a comanapricil sexual nightmare.
Oh, this is going to be a fun fucking ride.
The blue goo is like,
That's not what she said.
it's becoming like, harder in some places, softer in others. It's starting to move and slide all around you. It is the most sensuous thing you've ever felt. It's like your entire body is one gigantic erogenous zone, but you also think that you might die in here.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Reggie's Hello Kitty AR set,
Okay, good. You know where you're going with
and
that.
I'm gonna see if I can hack it to basically. I'm assuming these things have certain limiters and inhibitors in them, so that you can't like just completely overload your system.
Maybe.
I'm gonna try to undo that and see if I can bring Reggie back here through if I can get him to open his eyes and I can possibly overstimulate his brain. I want to defibrillate his brain. It's like when when everything's going crazy, when you have an AFib heart. They use the defib to jolt it back and get it back into a stable rhythm.
Okay,
I want to try to do
can I
that
ask
with
you one
Reggie's
question?
head. Yes.
Do you have any neurology skill?
No, I don't.
And did you also intend to use so many innuendos?
Ooh.
Listen,
honestly,
guys, I don't know
think
what's happening on your end, but I'm sorry.
The Dream Deck is mostly a receiving device.
Well, no,
I
Trae,
really don't think you could use it to deliver.
I'm
anything.
talking about it's the Hello Kitty AR set that he has. Because remember, he had gotten that to kind of balance out the neurostimulation that he's been doing.
Yeah. Sort of counterbalance.
Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Check me on this. I think we may need to retcon just a little bit. Okay, he wore the AR gear before the Dream Deck.
Yes.
Yep.
So you had to take it off to put the Dream Deck on, and then you took the Dream Deck off, and we never did say he put the AR gear back on.
But we have it packed up and with all the stuff. Reggie,
he's
Nash
not wearing it right
everything.
now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So you're grabbing it and putting it on him.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Geez, I don't even think this is you making a roll. It's more like Reggie making a roll.
Can we do a joint roll?
Could we maybe me breaking the system against his will to resist?
It's like a mechanical psyche roll.
Okay. Okay, you want to? Okay, let's hack the system first and then put it on his head.
Okay.
No, what the hell? It's more dramatic, isn't it, to just hack it while it's on his head, right?
Hold on.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, it has to be running for it to happen.
Okay, so what you want to do is remove the limiter that prevents all of the channels from going to maximum at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now the system is not really well guarded, so first you have to hack into the system. That's a programming roll beat 3.
Yeah. That is a 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, you're easily in there. In fact, that's a
8,
yes.
actually.
And do you have any ideas for the and?
Let's see. And I am able to gain a like a back channel access to it, so I'll kind of have control over what happens in the system.
Okay, so you can make it do its stuff remotely. You found an API in there. You found the API.
There we go.
And for some reason it has one. And now you have to do the actual programming of what you wanted to do.
Sounds good.
Modifying the function that controls the limiter, and that is indeed a 4.
That is a 9.
Holy shit, that's a yes and again. This is a cheap piece of commercial software that offers no resistance to your hackish skills. Do you have any ideas for the and?
Oh, geez. God, I don't.
Okay, well,
maybe something to do with the because I know that there's if there's any, is there any type of, because I know it's all just like a virtual overlay, right? Is there any kind of direct stimulation? Like, does it provide any type of direct contact?
Oh, it
like
it does
any
have
like
these little-
any haptic feedback or anything like that?
Yes, it's just mildly haptic feedback, that sort of
Mhm.
rumbles, like when you get hit. There's a slight vibration thing that happens right here.
Could the and be that I can overload that as well? So it basically just sends like a giant like rumble through his head.
There you go. So it's both audio, visual, and there's going to be this rumbling sensation.
Yeah. So I want just like a blaring tone, a rumble, and then like a burst of all the information.
Okay. Well, what happens now? We're gonna jump over to Reggie's perspective, because like
Careful with that rumbling burst scenario.
You're surrounded by the blue goo. You're both terrified for your life and like more aroused than you've ever felt. You're getting closer and closer to climax when suddenly it's like somebody took your brain and turned the volume and the brightness all the way up to 11. Everything gets lighter and lighter until it's blinding white. Like you're like closing your eyes as tight as you can, as the whiteness is so bright it's coming through your eyelids, and the sound of the universe, the background noise, the distant rumble of the fucking universe, it becomes so fucking loud that you can't even tell one noise from another. It's just waves and waves of constant sound, and your head is rumbling like an earthquake. Like the planet Earth is your head, and the entire thing is shaking. It wants to break into pieces, and I need you to make a psyche roll right now.
Okay, let me just pull up a little thing here. Let's just go easy.
Right.
Straight up psyche.
Straight up psyche. Beat a 5 for me.
Okay. I have hit a 5 exactly.
Okay, that's a yes, but okay. You realize that all of this, the light and the sound and the vibration, you realize that it's real. But you don't like it, you're scared of it, and you dive away from it into the depths of the blue goo. And the feeling of being watched and the feeling of Jack and Trae falls away, like you're sinking to the bottom of the ocean, and they're way, way up on this little boat that just gets smaller and smaller as you sink into the comfort.
No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Jack and Trae, his body like trembles violently for a couple seconds and then rolls off the seat onto the floor of the car.
What happened? What'd you do? What'd you do?
You're not sure he's breathing.
Fuck. He like pulls him back up onto the fucking seat and starts doing CPR.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess he observes him first to see if he's breathing or not.
Proper CPR. Yes, of course.
He stopped breathing.
I'm doing CPR.
All right. You have first aid skill?
Medic.
Yeah, good. Hit that.
Oh, it's a 607.
Oh,
He's like panicked. He's like, "Come on, you motherfucker! No, 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 no!"
I'm going to give you the and. You've broken him completely out of the trance. Reggie, you feel someone banging on your chest, and suddenly you sit upright, your eyes wide open, gasping for air.
Fuck! What the fuck? And he looks around. Oh, what happened? He's
Jack,
looking
you
around.
just fucking saved his life, man.
He's like, so Nash
Trae?
is like,
Trae, you just almost killed him.
he sits up and Jack kind of like hits the driver's seat where the fucking robot is or whatever, and he's just like fucking shaking. It's like, God, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fuck, are you okay? Now he's
Oh,
he's like right, like he's touching him, you know, he's like feeling his face.
Make sure
He's
I'm
like,
here. Okay.
You guys, he's here. You're back in reality. You're drenched in sweat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
feel fucking awful. But that experience is all fading. It's over. You're back in the real world.
Am I?
You think? You think you're back in the real world?
Okay. So I'll look. I'll look at both of them. Oh, hold on. All right. Sorry, I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out, and I'm touching Nash, and I reach down and I touch Trae, and I'm like, does it feel right? Does it feel? Are we back? Does it feel right to you?
Trae will actually reach out and grab Reggie's hand.
Or like it feels right to me?
Yeah. Yes.
we never left, man. Like you were mumbling about the blue goo. I mean, I think you're talking about the tanks in Somnambula, like that guy that we saw.
No, I was there. Yes, that's where I was.
But you were here too. But when I was getting money at the ATM, you were just talking out loud and you fucking passed out. But when you passed out, there was this weird like ping, and then everything felt like weird.
Yep. Yeah, something.
Hey, you remember the ping, Reggie. The ping is something that you hear when you're in the blue goo. You don't know what it is. Once in a while, you hear it.
It's in the goo. Wait, you said there was a ping?
No, we heard the ping. Trae, you heard the ping, yeah?
Question. All right. So real quick, we've talked about Trae recording stuff before. This is actually a question I had a little bit ago, and I never brought it up. Would it be a decent assumption to say that Trae has like a passive, almost like a security system where you kind of have like recordings going, or would you say that he has to like purposely?
I think that you can, and many people probably do, and Scylla Sardassian probably uses systems like that herself.
Yeah.
You've never said you do, and you don't seem like the kind of guy who like obviously would.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not neither an egotist nor like usually watching yourself. You're usually watching outward.
Well, but more so, especially so, like we've actually said before that Trae has footage of Reggie that he's recorded on his own system. But I can't remember if we said specifically that I like purposely recorded him at that moment or not. If you think that it's something that he wouldn't do, then that's cool. I was just wondering if he could.
Again, it's not difficult to say. Given the technology that's available now, it's not difficult to say, and there's probably plenty of people who do it.
Yeah.
Against that, I'm thinking, geez, there's probably lots of times in the past where if you had been doing that, we would have resorted to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one the instance I'm doing now is that if it is something that he does, he actually wants to go back a few moments in time and see if the ping registered on the system or not. But if it's not something that if it's not something that we've mentioned enough times, and if you don't think that it's something personally that Trae, like you said, he's not an egotist, he's not anything like that. So
yeah, and I don't
might
even
be
think that at this. I mean, I could see you turning on advanced security systems if you felt that you were being followed or watched, but you don't. You believe yourself to be in a safe place.
True. Yeah, it's probably something that he does while on mission for records. Like, so that's probably like when we were out on missions, he probably was recording just for, mission's sake.
So I'd have to say it's possible
life,
anytime.
So.
I'd have to say it's possible anytime you want to tell me you're doing it, but you haven't told me you're doing it. So
I'm totally cool with that. Okay,
this
cut all that out, John.
Well, so but this could be the incident that like maybe Trae thought about it before, but then it prompts like, fuck, I don't have a record of this thing. If I had only been recording.
Right, that's true. Which is similar to thought you had when you were working for Dark Matter, and you went, you know what? We need body cams.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those were built into your suits, and you guys aren't wearing your suits.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start.
Wear suits everywhere you go.
Between Reggie's fucking head injuries and all that shit, like maybe we should just start wearing our suits 24/7.
You're not from around here, are you?
Either that, or we have to find some sort of way to have some sort of tracking system or something. That's not even possible. I don't know how to explain it. Listen, did any of this feel right when I was gone? Did any of it feel right?
No, quite the opposite.
But now it does?
Now that you mention it, that feeling is gone. Nash and Trae, that weird feeling you both shared, it's over. It's past.
And you said there was a loud ping.
Yeah.
Okay, that was happening in the room where I was. Guys, I don't know what triggers these things, but something about that ping is a clue. I don't know. I don't even know where to go from here.
Trae goes back and opens up argofans.com.
Mm-hmm.
Are the messages? Is the message that he just sent there?
No, it's back the way it was before. The message you just sent is gone, and the earlier one with the 86 is back.
Serge, do you remember when
I can give everybody a brains roll?
Sure, yeah.
Huh, a 6 on a brains roll.
6.
All right.
Triple 6. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, well, Trae, you come to the same realization, which is like for Trae, this is fucking nutso. For Reggie, it's not quite so nutso. And Trae, you're gonna have a hard time processing the place your mind next goes, which is that we actually slipped just now.
Yeah.
We actually were in another world, another timeline for a few minutes with no ship, no capacitor, nothing.
Sirs, and
Reggie comes to the exact same conclusion.
Yeah.
At the minute you open your mouth, Reggie is thinking the same thing. But for him, it doesn't seem so impossible.
We all say it at the same time. Hey, what do you guys think happened? Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. We totally slipped.
Fuck. That's not Reggie, that's not possible, is it?
Okay, no. But if I was being honest with you, I've totally been trying to do that the whole time. I've been messing around. No. But listen, I didn't like try to do it this time. I have no idea what triggered it, but that has to be what it is. Trae, yeah, you said the same thing I did. Nash, you didn't say anything.
No, I said we slipped.
When I did the whole 1, 2, 3 thing, you didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
no, I said.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. I was okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. Trey, what's going on? What's going on with you here? Because you said it too, and that's that's got to be a thing for you. No,
I do not know how it is possible.
yeah.
It does not make sense.
No.
You know what that means, though, is
No.
that so there's a universe where they have you, and you're in the goo, and he succeeded. So I don't know.
Been in the goo the whole time.
I mean,
there is no Reggie and Nash in that other reality. It's just I'm the goo boy.
So this is like a Matrix situation.
The goo feels eternal.
Yeah, goo is the goo. Hey, listen, the goo was eternal. Life, it was the goo. The goo was life. That's what it was. So that other reality just isn't this one. It doesn't have any sort of similarities. But I mean, I think we know that about these other realities. Is we know that there's other ones, and we know that the other Reggies and the other Nashes and the other Traes are all doing different things with different motivations. So I got to be honest, this is what I've been working towards with all of my stupid shit. And I know it's dumb, but this is, and I'm no closer now, but like it happened and something triggered it.
I mean, I don't know if it's dumb, but it's fucking dangerous for sure.
Oh, there's nothing safe about this. But listen, I was being watched in that tank. Okay. So something was happening there that they recognized was happening, and it was happening here.
Do you think that maybe the Reggie in that world in the goo reached out and was able to touch you? Do you think
strange? It's a very strange concept, because when I saw the singularity, which sort of feels a little bit strange to say out loud now because it was everything, but I did not see any sort of goo situation. It was just all me looking at me. And then when we touched, gone. And then I'm in the goo. So I have this sort of like, no, I can't even say that because there is no real Reggie. But that Reggie wasn't there that I could tell.
I mean, you're the real Reggie. I'm the real Nash. This is the real Trae. I mean, this is our fucking world, man. Like this, there may be other universes and other Reggies, but you're our Reggie.
What do we know about day tripping and where we go when we day trip? We're slipping into a dream world, correct?
I mean, not always.
Sometimes, but not always. But we're in a different reality, for sure, right?
But some of them are. I mean, this is more your department, but some of them are mapped. I mean, we're within our own universe.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not always leaving our universe,
right? But theoretically, and I think that there was something about this somewhere along the line, and some of those, not. When they first started all this stuff, is that theoretically it's possible to just go. I mean,
it happened when we had Charlie. Charlie fucked up our space-time continuum or whatever the hell. When he slipped back with us, it threw us into that other world where we took that mission with dark matter.
Yes, I know, and maybe some. I don't know. That doesn't help at all, but.
Okay, so Nash and Trae also had that weird feeling, and Trae noticed the discrepancy in the data that he could access online. So Nash and Trae can safely say that there's two worlds, right? You've experienced two just now,
right?
And Reggie experienced a third, in which he's in the blue goo. And really, I guess the question that I'm not sure if you can answer is that really a third world, or is it one of these two?
Nash assumed it was part of the two. Like where the world that he was in the goo was the world where we were carrying.
Well,
him,
I didn't
or
even. Yeah, but from Reggie's perspective, he saw way more than 2 worlds.
Yeah.
He saw hundreds.
Right.
There were so many worlds I couldn't see them all.
Fuck.
I don't even know. This doesn't change anything right now. I mean, unless there's something evident to either of you that we're not back in that original world, we're still on the run.
Where is this car taking us, by the way?
Yeah, we're
just driving around the block over and over.
No, well, I mean, he would have asked Trae to find us a hotel across. I mean, the plan was to find a hotel across town. I don't know if Trae automatically did that, but like, if we're just driving along for like 5 or 10 minutes, I'm like, Trae, can you find us pull up a hotel?
Yeah. Okay. So let's assume that happened somewhere along the line in the last 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because now you're there.
Okay.
And we can get out of the car, get up into a room. You've got the money. We don't need to role play encounters with the desk clerk. We've now made it to a place where we can talk and hang and feel reasonably safe.
Right.
The last transaction you made, if someone's tracking you, they're going to find it on the other side of town. But it'll probably take a while for them to follow you here if they can do that.
Right.
It's about as safe as you're going to be for a while.
Right. All right. Look, so we have two things, right? So we've got the Slothrop thing. Trae, have you been able to pull up anything with the facial recognition? Do we know who this guy is yet?
I have not had time. I'm sorry, Mr. Nash.
No, it's fine. There's been a lot of shit going on. Can you please try to find any information you can through facial recognition? We know that he's some kind of a terrorist. If you could track down the city logs, we could maybe find out where he's been. Any of that information will be useful.
All right.
And
there's a card operated food printer in this room, and Reggie, you're fucking famished. So yeah, you need to eat and drink. So somebody give Reggie the debit card because he's going to be eating for a while. You're like, it's unbelievable how hungry you are. It's like you feel completely depleted. But you're no longer under the effect of comanapricil. Now you've just fucking trashed your body, and you need to get some nutrients into you.
Everything's gone. I need to refuel. Is there any sort of food card thing that I can use?
Yeah. I took money out of the ATM. Make sure you get yourself a lot of water. All right.
All the water. Yeah, all the water.
This is something with electrolytes in it.
Reggie gets all the future Gatorade and and he gets all the food and eats all the food and drinks all the food.
You're going to spend, while these guys are talking for a while, you're just shoving food into your face.
Yeah.
So I think while he's eating and Trae's looking up data, I think Nash tries calling Cordoba again on that same phone.
We're going to call Cordoba again.
Yeah, since he hung up on me. And I was going to call him back, and then like things took like a hard left.
Oh, boy.
Looking at some notes real quick.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
All right. Let's do Trae first.
All right. So first, as Nash was already talking to him, he started bringing up image searches and attempting to cross match any basic image search that comes up with this guy's face, because he kind of like screen snapped it. So he's going to do that, and at the same time, he's also then going to bring up the Civic Ride website and see if he can attempt to backdoor their their servers through a possible admin access.
You find a bunch of soft hits in public records and just like random photographs from street journalists and shit like that. None of them seem particularly convincing to you. None of them seem greater than like a 50% match. So one idea is you might try hacking into the criminal records in city system.
Yeah. That's the next step. He's never quite gone as far as hacking into the actual city sys.
And it's well defended.
It's not out of it's not out of his purview. It's definitely a nice challenge, but he's never really had a reason to.
Yeah. So I guess
he's keeping that's in the back of his mind.
All right. So as far as facial recognition, you've got nothing you feel really confident about. It dawns on you that if he has a criminal record, there you could be confident about any facial recognition you found. But you'd have to hack your way in first. Or you can go ahead and try to hack the city cab system. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, I'll go into the city cab first because I figure they'll have less security, and also it's not as severe as breaking into the city system.
Right now, by the way, I'll remind you, because it's right there on your PDA, that you do have the user credentials of, I could look up your name if you want, one of those Somnambula employees that you had been casing.
Oh, yeah.
So it would make it there. Callista Kinnear was her name. So if you used her ID, it would put the track off of you, and she already has all the normal accounts that a citizen has here in Union City.
Nice.
True. Well, I have her info, but I never got like close to. I don't have her actual like ID or anything like that, do I?
You have enough info to get inside Somnambula system. So basically, you have her employee ID, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you could spoof her physically or cybernetically going into the Somnambula office.
Right. Yeah.
From there, posing as her, you could then contact City System just using her public accounts.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like using someone's ID card to get into a building as them.
Yeah, which you don't even have to roll for. But when it comes to the City Cab company, I'm going to need 2 rolls. One to just get access to the system at all. And this is going to be encryption beat 5.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry, 4.
4. Well, that is a 6, 7, 8.
Okay, that is a yes, and the and is that took you exactly as long as it took you to roll those dice. It was literally the password was password.
Nice. Yep. Harmon is actually very upset. Like he gets like his toolkit out and he literally just like walks up to the virtual door and is like, and he realizes like opens it and like just turns the doorknob and it opens. He's like,
yeah. Now comes the harder one. You need to beat a 6 to get into the database.
All right.
And plant a query.
All right. Would this be encryption as well or programming?
This is
or
programming.
Something else?
This is programming.
Okay. Not as good, but I still 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, that is another yes and. All right. You have located, and pretty quickly, I should say, all of the records that were tagged Reggie Carlisle.
Sweet.
And there's something that just draws you to this one end of the file near the end of his employment with the company.
Mm-hmm.
Just look through a couple files before you find the one that you're looking for. There is, in fact, a photo ID because the guy created the account and photo verified himself
Yep.
to call the cab. The guy's name is Joram Zakilla.
Let's see. Joram Zakilla, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that, and then I'll take the name and I'll open up a search for it.
He's a lifelong inhabitant of Union City. He's lived a number of addresses, mostly on the east side, which is to say the shitty side of town. And he was being taken into Darova that day Reggie picked him up.
Is there anything special? John popped up. Is there anything special about Darova that Trae would know? Or is there anything like I don't know what, like, is there anything special? Like, what exactly is that part of town?
Darova is the part of town where the Yellow Sunshine's warehouse was. It is super crowded. Some parts of Darova are among the most crowded arcologies on the planet, including the Rainier arcology, which has been taken over by like hobos and squatters and people who've just like they're living like 16 people in an apartment with dripping water and the floors are unstable and the AI has intermittently come on and offline. The companies don't even bother supporting these places anymore. They're just so many people living in such like terrible conditions. If you could imagine like the I want to say Pruitt something. It's a famous public housing in Detroit where they built these gigantic skyscrapers and crammed poor people into them, and they just became like, they were very shoddily built, very cheaply built, very poorly secured and maintained. They became hotbeds of crime and violence and gang activity, and that's like the entire fucking district of Darova.
Right. So it's absolutely no surprise that this guy is heading to where the heartbed of criminal activity.
Well, there's a lot of white collar criminal activity all over this town. But
in terms of criminal, like police, what police would be looking for.
Put it this way, Darova would be the part of town that you would head for without even questioning. If, for instance, you wanted to recruit a whole bunch of young, armed, angry men.
Right. Exactly. All right. Yeah. So he'll bring up the exact ride coordinates that this guy got picked up and dropped off at. At the same time, he'll also be opening up a search for this guy's name, and he'll. Oh no, I got kicked off. I got kicked off of that other site. Or not necessarily that I got kicked off of it, but I didn't have the access code to it. You
were challenged and you bailed.
Right, yep.
Tail between your legs, out of here.
So yeah, he'll just run a general search for it for now. If Nash would like him to delve into criminal activity of this guy at some point, then he'll take that. But for now, he's just kind of running basic searches of him.
Do a brains roll. Give me a beat 5.
Triple threes.
Ooh.
You find some other photographs and video. A guy that might be him arrested for a bar brawl a couple years ago. A guy that maybe was him fled from the scene of a gang altercation about 6 months ago. A guy that might have been him was connected to a counterinsurgency ring that was broken up by CivSec. None of these are clear positives.
Right. At the most, I'm looking at like 60%.
You're looking at like the popular crime blotter kind of news reports,
Yeah.
right? Like old people look at when they're stoking their paranoia.
Exactly.
And you're finding a whole bunch of shit that might be this guy, but it's bad journalism, and you can't really be sure.
Right. It might be good enough for the LA police to make an arrest, but not good enough for Trae.
No, it's
Right, so
actually it's not enough for an arrest, but it is enough for a walk in and shoot you till you're dead. That's
true. True. Yeah. You need surprisingly you need a lot less evidence for that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
He moved in a suspicious manner.
We're talking about the future. We're talking about 100 years from now, not
so
now.
far into the future.
Now that would never happen. Don't worry, people.
Yeah.
No social commentary here.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of data. Okay, so we're jumping back to Nash. Nash is making a phone call to Ingwe Cordoba.
Yep. Oh boy.
You know what? It goes to a voicemail.
So he pauses a moment while the message plays or whatever, and he's like, "I am very disappointed in you, Ingwe. I was hoping that we would be able to come to some conclusion that didn't involve violence, but it seems as if things will continue towards the end that you have projected. I suggest that you desist before we have to finish this business."
The phone is picked up.
Ooh.
Cordoba says, "Look, Mr. Nash, I don't know what the hell you just did, but you better stay the hell away from me and my company. I've got enough to deal with without you making things crazy over here. And you tell your friend to stop whatever he's doing." And he hangs up the phone.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, he's just so he loves hanging up on you. It's his favorite thing.
Like he just looks at the phone and then looks at you guys and like, this motherfucker.
What do you say? Was it a good conversation?
No, he said,
it was a very short, very bad conversation. But just as Ingwe was hanging up the phone, you hear a ping in the background.
oh no. So he starts to then kind of put that together then. He said to me that you needed to stop doing whatever you were doing and to leave him and the company alone, which doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
Because he literally sent people to kill us. But just before he hung up, I heard that fucking ping in the background.
Oh no.
But if he heard, but does that mean he has a Reggie here?
I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Nash. Is it possible that they went to an alternate here and brought a Reggie back? Maybe if they could not get the Reggie that is here to experiment on, they went with an alternate Reggie.
Oh, that sucks.
Maybe that's what caused the slip.
But why? What?
I believe there was a movie from a time period you're interested in, Mr. Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and he'll bring it up and then slide it over to you guys. I believe they call it The One.
Oh. Okay, go on. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, the entire premise was that you could not come in contact with another of yourself. Perhaps if there is another Reggie on this same plane of existence, then the two of you being in close proximity with each other is causing issues.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, But I believe that in the one, there was just one of them. They all got more powerful as they were all being eliminated, right?
I do not know.
Right?
I never
never
made
saw
it
the
through
movie.
The entire
Is
movie.
that-
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you?
I mean, yeah, there was one of them who was just going around killing all the rest of them, and he just kept getting more powerful and powerful. And then it was, I don't think, I mean,
Is that Highlander, or is it just a lot like Highlander?
Yeah,
Well,
it's very. It's like it's dimensional hopping Highlander.
it's
Okay.
yeah. But listen, I like where you're going with this. I'm a little scared by it because it seems to me like he wouldn't be worried about what I'm doing. But listen, is he? He can't possibly think that I'm going to stop. I mean, I hate him, and I hate everything about him and his company. So I'm not stopping. So now, I would like to find out exactly how I did what I did, and do it again. Because if that's right, then they're fucking with things, not me. They're doing it. So,
Well, perhaps it is not something that you did necessarily, Mr. Reggie, but something that they did on their end that then triggered your response.
can I blow your mind? Can I blow it? What if the Reggie that they have, if that is what's happening, was reaching out to me and all the other Reggies, as if to say, I've been taken from my own reality. Enough of this horse shit. What if that was what was going on?
And you'll see him. He reaches up, grabs something, slides it over. Both your phone dings.
And it's the whole synopsis of the movie one.
No. When you open it up, it's just a small little mini mushroom cloud.
Oh,
I'm going to save this for the rest of my life. But
Trae Mowaka, edgelord from the future.
well, that's just something that popped into my head when you brought up, the idea of taking. Listen, that doesn't even seem like it should be possible, but neither does just slipping randomly without any sort of, slip dynamic technology.
Well, but what do we? So maybe this Cordoba didn't send the hitmen. Maybe.
Hey, listen, we're dealing with an infinite number of possibilities, so you can't. Yes. Like the answer to your question.
I do believe that we have to rely on the premise that we are currently in our own reality and that we have thus far been in it. So I do not believe that making the assumption that the hitmen are from an alternate reality would be appropriate. I believe they are a very real threat, and we should making any assumptions like that, I would be afraid would lessen the threat on our meter.
All right.
I think we do have to assume that the Cordoba here is a very real issue.
No, I mean, no doubt, but you say hitman, they don't want me dead. At least,
Well, they almost
They do
killed
not
him
want-
anyway.
You dead.
they don't want me dead. I mean, they may have almost killed me, but I'm not going to give them a choice. They're going to have to kill me to take me. That's as long as I can, they're not going to take me. I'm not going in the goo. And for shit sure, if they've done this, if they have procured themselves a Reggie from a different reality, then they don't need me anymore. So maybe now it becomes a hit situation.
I think, but we have to get him out then, right? Like,
Yes.
we can't randomly slip out of this fucking world
No.
if there's another Reggie here that's causing some weird ripple in the space-time continuum or whatever the fuck. Is this like your everyday, man? Like, I can't, like, there's enough shit going on that, like, fuck.
All right, I don't
It
want you
is
to worry
like
about it.
I feel as though it is like when you have two wires that are too close to each other. They their electrical signals will interfere.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that if we do not do something about this, then the interference will only increase.
It's
And
like
the likelihood of a situation like this occurring again will become more frequent and potentially more hazardous.
So it's like a storm that's just over all the realities because one has been disrupted so much. But I also don't know if no, I mean yeah, go ahead.
I would not I do not know much about this. I would not assume that it would affect other realities. I am more so concerned with ours right now.
Yeah, well ours and theirs would be the ones that were affected the most. But
Okay, hang on. Reggie, brains plus slip dynamics.
we need a race board, a regular so we can map and some string. We need some string and some pictures and some corkboard. Okay, my brains roll gives me another 6. Ooh, I'm so smart this episode.
Yeah, you are, and you're going to get an and on this. But the first thing you remember is that. Okay, so what Trae just described. For all we know, because our data is incomplete when it comes to the multiverse, but there is a thing called a flux storm. When you're traveling through slip space, they taught you all about it in school. You had to learn how to enter evasive maneuvers and secure everything on the ship in case of flux storm, because it could cause the fuzzies, or it could even throw you off your course and you end up in a different reality than the one you were shooting for. So these flux storms, they don't exist in one reality. They sort of sweep through multiple realities, or can knock you out of one into another when you're between them. So in theory, there is a thing that can span multiple realities and knock things from one to the other, and that would be a flux storm.
All right, so
and they do radiate outward, or that's the theory anyway, just like a real storm.
Trae, flux storms. They are a thing that need to be negotiated when you're slipping. Yes, I see you moving. Go do the thing that you do, because I remember the training about them, but as far as what they do and what they affect, if you happen to be like caught up in them, it was I've never experienced. So, I mean, there's got to be something that you can, send one of your little
attempt to open up a theoretical a research, a theory paper that Diaspora wrote on flux storms.
Okay, the synopsis paragraph is like an interdimensional hurricane whipping through the multiverse. A flux storm can easily toss a slip ship off its course. It is generally considered that flux storms spawn from the multiversal cal, perhaps similar to the way flares occur on star surfaces, often extending far out into space. However, that's all conjecture. The fact is, we don't know what they are, and we cannot predict their movements.
Well, just pretend Trae read that to you.
All right. I don't know how helpful that is, except for the fact that, like, oh God, I don't know what that guys. I gotta be honest with you. I want to jump back in. I want to jump back into a. I mean, mate.
I believe if you do that, Mr. Reggie, then we should do it in a more controlled and stable environment.
Boom.
With perhaps more preparation.
I feel like just hear me out. I think a call into Bento, maybe.
I don't know that we want to wrap him up in this. We want to try to keep him as separate as possible. But what about a neutral meeting place with fucking Cordoba? I mean, if he thinks this is you and we clearly think it's him, as they tried to fucking kill you guys already, maybe we need to fucking sort this out face to face and find out what the fuck is really going on.
Maybe, just hear me out. Maybe the next time you call him, it isn't like an aggressive sort of attack strategy that you're so wonderful at, and I love it. But
he tried to fucking kill you already, Reg.
Like, he did, but he might think that I'm doing something that I'm not. And listen, I'm not on the side of somnambula. But I mean, a man with as much as he has to lose, as much as he has invested in whatever the fuck he's doing, of course he's going to use those resources and try and eradicate any sort of complications that he might see come up, which a whole thing, a whole, slipping around doing shit,
So, but if we're in, we have to assume we're in our reality, like Trae said, right? So if we're real and we're in our real reality, Lithium came to us and said that there was a hit out on us and that they wanted you, and it came from Somnambula. We have to assume that that's all real and legitimate in this fucking reality.
Yeah.
But when I talk to him, it seems like he, not to say that he didn't do it, but seems to think that you're somehow the cause of whatever's happening.
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact words, but I said something very close to, I've got enough to worry about without your friend making everything crazy over here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to know what the hell that means unless we assume that he has a lot more information than us about what's going on, which it sounds to me like he does. So, I mean, if he's aware that I'm doing something that's messing up his whole situation, then he knows a lot more than we do.
No, I mean, for sure. And I feel like the information that we had prior to this, that he wanted you and that you are a dreamer, that he wants to use you, tap into that or whatever. So I'm not saying it's a great idea, but I mean, like you said, there's infinite possibilities on the table, like right at this moment.
Right. I think in front of us, we need to just get to a place, a place to go and just reset, just settle.
I mean, I think that's here. I mean, I think we're safe here for now.
Okay.
But I mean, we have the Slothrop thing too. I mean, I don't want to get pulled off in too many directions, but I trust you. I mean, if you say that you saw this thing, and based on everything that we've been through, I have no reason to think that that's not a real thing. That this guy is going to kill a bunch of kids. And if we can stop that, we have to try to do that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You said 59 minutes, 59 hours, 59 something, like.
Right. I mean, this is crazy, right? I mean, there's no way, unless I go back in, that I'm going to get any more information. Like, I want to stop it as much as you do. I mean, I need to stop it. But I don't know anything about it.
I agreed. I think at this moment, it is an anomaly. It is an error that popped up for a reason we don't know why. And unless we delve into what exactly caused it, unless we can re-examine it by recreating the event under those exact circumstances, it is impossible to actually figure out what caused the error. In fact, we do not even know the action that was run in order to cause the error.
And the ping. Also, I wonder what that blue liquid was Does anyone remember from way back when if we were able to even understand what it was at the time?
And I think we saw those. There was people in the tubes that we saw when we were trying to get Susie out. I don't know what that is. Like I don't like.
Yeah, they were tanks, meaning that people were laying down, not standing up. When I hear tubes, I picture them standing up, but they were laying down.
But so is that? I mean, is that part of the zeitgeist? Like, is that like something that we would be at least nominally aware of, like a regeneration tank or like any kind of like none of that stuff?
Yeah, no,
Doesn't look like. No, I mean every med bay you've ever seen is closed. These are like open tanks of goo with people in them.
They like super oxygenated goo so that they can breathe in the liquid.
I think I want to try and get into one of those goo tanks, and just see. I don't like the idea. I hate it, in fact. But I got to go back in. I got to see more. How about listen? I don't want to do this, but what if we slip into what if we slip into one of my dream worlds?
Can we do that?
Absolutely not. But we also thought that before we couldn't just slip randomly. People.
But dreamers create worlds that are stable or unstable, right? So like, I guess theoretically, then.
I do not believe any of Mr. Reggie's dream worlds would be stable.
But I'll throw this at you though.
And Trae actually smirks slightly at that.
And it's very funny, and I applaud everything that you just did. Listen, they'll be so stable that it is unstable. Does that make sense? That's the problem we're going to have, is I'll just feel like that my dream worlds are going to be so unstable, but they're stable in their instability. Does that make sense? Is any of that anything?
No, I hear what you're saying. If we're able to get in, can we get out? Like I don't like. No. Can you?
We live there.
It seems really risky.
You guys have been to the multiversal Cal and survived.
Yeah, that was proper fucked. It wasn't even. I don't think it, like I mean, who knows? But I think we go. I don't want to do this, but it's all I got. I got to go back in. I got to know more, and maybe we do that. Maybe you. I don't know. Can I even go to my own? Maybe you two have to go to my dream world.
Well, but what
okay,
do we get
you do know. Let's go all the way back to session session 1 or 2, 3. That it was. It took a lot of work and a lot of number crunching by a lot of really powerful supercomputers for Cordoba to find even one dream world that corresponded to a known dreamer.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So okay.
And that happened to be Susie Gart.
Feel it.
Yeah, I can just feel it. I'll just open up a dream portal and we'll just step on through.
I will say. If we are looking for options, we do have access to Somnambula.
Go on.
We might be able to get in there.
Go on.
I mean, I don't know that getting in was ever really the problem.
Oh, is it Brandon Machine and could it grow? Is it the return of them? No,
well, we could always go in and kick the door down. I just don't know that that's the best.
Well, I mean, security is going to be all over us.
Oh no, that is never my technique.
You have another. All right.
I have access.
Oh, like metaphysically. Wait.
No. I mean that I could give one of you the ID of a worker so that you may be able to get in.
I'll do it.
Quite possibly, I could also get in other. If the two of you can get in, then we can gain access to their system. And then the two of you may be able to find the other Reggie.
Right. Yes. Find the other Reggie. That's what
Well, we know where he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be up on that floor with those fucking tanks. I mean,
maybe I'll switch places with him.
when you say shit like that, it freaks me the fuck out.
Right, but none of it makes sense. Like, who knows what we're dealing with? You know, maybe the other Reggie won't be so uncorked. You know, or maybe he'll be born.
But Mr. Reggie, that is what makes you you.
Yeah. Right, but that would
I would not like to work alongside a corked Reggie.
Oh, that's very wow. That makes me feel very good, Trae. I'm not crying, you're crying. And Reggie puts his head down. That was very sweet.
I mean, we can all right, so we can do that, or we can just try to meet, or we could meet and then break in anyway.
Maybe we break in to meet. I think a phone call is probably the next thing to see just maybe for more information from him. Should I talk to him? Maybe I'll talk.
We haven't tried that.
No, it's nope.
That may be more alluring for him.
Could be. Do you want the other phone? I don't know that he'll answer this number again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he did pick up when you were mid-message threatening him. And
well, if he's listening and he hears it's you, maybe he will answer.
Indeed. He does seem to be actively monitoring his voicemail.
Oh, this would be terrible.
Nash just reaches hands the phone over.
We drop into slow motion.
The camera spins.
Yeah, back and forth between Reggie's eyes and Nash's eyes, like, oh no. All right, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to say, so whatever comes out of me, I guess I can be held responsible for it, but you know how I'll do. Reggie checks his stats to see that he has fast-talking psyche as a skill at +2.
Yeah?
And then doesn't know where that thought came from.
Well, typically used to get somebody to agree to something that they haven't actually thought through.
No, I just meant like the physical representation of a stat sheet for himself.
Okay.
So
Trae has one. Why not Reggie?
That's true. You put it there. You put my stat sheet together.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot all about that.
Trae's constantly monitoring your abilities.
Yes. So I don't know if this. Yeah, I'll do. Hey guys, I'll do it. Do we want to do that right now?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Reggie looks crestfallen. Fuck. All right.
Yeah. It's Reggie. It's Reggie who looks right. It's Reggie. Reggie looks that way.
I love this is the guy that says he'll do something, but then when everyone else is like, all right, he was like, oh, I expected you guys to talk me off the ledge.
Yeah, not so much that, or more of like, what I could make this so much worse. But let's have a go. And Reggie just hits send.
All right, well, you're about to hit send, but you notice that there's a flashing message that just came in.
Oh, I got a message. Let me check my message.
Well, it's not your message. It's Jack's. He handed you his
Oh,
phone.
my God. That's right. He did hand me that phone a minute
You
ago.
open it up.
I guess
You open it up because it's just out of habit. You're holding Jack's phone and you open the message.
Yeah.
And it's Scylla right in the camera. She looks angry. And she says, "What the fuck is this?" And then the camera pans. You're watching a video shot from a hidden camera underneath the table of Nash and Corey Jane fucking in a diner. And the banner and the logo across the top is Corey Jane's Sex World. It's getting tons of likes. People are going, Scylla's going to be mad about this. Corey Jane filmed you without telling you and released it on her channel as a scoop. And Scylla's pissed off. And she ends the message by bringing the phone back to her face and goes, "And where the hell are you? I'm coming home in an hour and a half. Put something online."
Oh, that's not good.
I think I'm going to end right there. Do I hear agreement? Do we end right there?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because it sounded to me like John was not really ready to make that phone call.
It wasn't that I wasn't ready. It was that I didn't. It's going to be a while. It's going to be long. And I was just looking at the time, and I didn't want to force it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I think you're from what I was getting, it sounded like you're not sure if you're ready to make things worse or not.
I'm not going to prepare anything. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be shot from the hip. I just didn't think that my hip was in a good place to shoot right now. Because I want it to be right, and if I'm going to make it worse, it's going to become evident to me like mid call. And then I'm just going to run with it. So I didn't want to.
Sounds like Reggie.
Yeah, damn it.
Well, I mean, we did start late. If you want to run a little late, I
want to be fresher for that. Does that make sense? Is that bad? Am I doing
That's
bad?
fun. I think that was a funny sort of.
No, I thought it was
cliffhanger.
perfect. I just don't want you to think I was like. It's not that I don't want to do it. I want this really bad, but I want to be fresher. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Hey, you know what? We all worry about our vaginal odor.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It is an issue, but we all just we do the best we can with it.
Hey, guess what?
I'm sweaty.
Jack, Nash, 4 experience points.
Yay!
Reggie 2 this time. You were the least this time.
I'll take
Trae
it.
4.
Wow.
So I add 2.
I have a ton of XP to spend when we have some time.
I got 56
Right?
to spend, and I have no idea.
I'm up to 42.
147.
Oh, you should be a god.
Jesus
by now.
Christ.
You got the 102 for saving the world. Or did you add that to
true.
your?
Oh no, I already did that. Yeah, no,
okay.
I've my lucid dreaming is at 4. Like I can roll 10s on lucid dreaming.
You did.
Yeah, those.
I did.
Yeah, once you get above 3, I mean, those skills are super, super expensive.
Yeah, that's So
Purposely, I
wanted to save
Makes
to get
sense.
to 5 because man, being able to say I'll turn that shit to 11 about a lucid dreaming roll would be so fun.
Yeah.
To say it.
Yeah.
But that's Reggie now. Reggie, that's my psyche and my lucid dreaming is. Oh, is this? Oh wait, what are we doing? Is that a post show thing? I don't know how.
Let's. I mean, we can get a short one in if you want to. If you got to bounce. But want to thank everybody for watching. We have coffee for sale still. If you use the code LEGENDS10, you're going to get 10% off your order, and shipping is always free. It's a nice, easy drinking medium roast. I have some on the way. John just actually got some himself.
I got it and I tried it. It's like no shit. It's really. It's. I was taken aback by the taste. Maybe that's just because it's like nice, freshly ground. I don't know, but it was really good. Very good. Really good.
I mean, you put an order in, it's roasted, within a couple of days and then out to you. I mean, you can't get it much fresher unless you roast it yourself.
You were right. You said it. I asked you, you said it, that it's different, and I didn't believe you, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
There you go. This is in the pudding. So please, it's tinyurl.com/legendary brew, where you can hit the link in the show notes. Other blends or roasts of coffee that they sell are also fantastic. The Nile blend is also very tasty. Our Patreon is up and running. If you get early access to the podcast, because there's just a shit ton of stuff in the feed, that stuff comes out there early first. We also have the post shows and all that stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, that's cool. You could throw a couple of credits our way. We would certainly appreciate it. And ratings and reviews on iTunes or whatever your podcatcher of choice are free. That also helps us out tremendously. Just gets us noticed, bumps us up in the algorithms, and we appreciate it when you do that. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
There's a post show.
Hey, I wasn't saying like I had to go. I was just it was specifically like, oh,
there's a tiny. I'll tell you what. I'm okay with that. But I had to make it okay on a meta level, because I was looking at the calendar. Right. There's something that John, you said. I don't know if it was last time or the time before, but you were looking at the summary calendar and thinking like it's about time for the end of the season, and that's been in the back of my head for a couple sessions now. And when I looked at the calendar just earlier today, I went, yeah, I kind of feel like I should have done the season finale last time, but that's okay. I'll make tonight the season finale. And then like all day long, different shit was going on, and I really didn't think much about it. And then when I did think about it, it was just to look at the last episode and refresh myself on the notes so I know where all the NPCs are like right now. Mm-hmm. And I did not think about any great big thing. And I went, oh, well, I'll figure out something that's like really big and cliffhangery, and I'll throw them in, and it'll be so big. Ooh, now my camera's disappeared. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, for us.
I thought I'll just make something so big that it's like throws the entire series into question. You have no idea. Now we lost John. This place is falling apart, gentlemen. Right, some upkeep, please. But I had no chance to think about any of that at all, and I just sort of went in and started winging it. Well, so when we got to the point where he was about to make that phone call, part of me was going, oh man, I don't know what it is, but as soon as he makes his phone call, this is going to be the big ass. This phone call is going to be the big ass thing that provides the cliffhanger. That's the season finale. And like, you just know that from this point forward, everything's going to be different. All bets are off. And then he went, well, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And I went, kind of good, because I'm not sure if I can do this.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I was
thinking like, okay, I could like have Cordoba like say something that like I don't even know, but I could have him say something so weird that it like throws everything into chaos, and that's the end of season 3.
Yeah,
because it like changes everything. And I went, yeah, but anything I could pull out of my ass right now that was that weird would really seem pulled out of my ass.
Cool.
Well,
I mean, all right. I'm sorry, but yeah, but that makes sense. That it does.
I think part of the problem is like we dropped into like minute by minute, over the last 3 or 4 episodes. Like
true,
a super compressed amount of time, and we haven't really. I don't want to say we haven't done anything or gotten anywhere, because a lot of things have happened, but we haven't gotten to that breaking point of like, like maybe the first phone call to Cordoba maybe could have been that if we were sort of thinking in that direction, but
maybe
because we're trying to, sort of get to some point where there's some focus of action, but it's like such incremental time at this point.
Right. And what's happening instead are, well, 2 things. First off, the world is exposing more of itself to you, so things are getting more complicated.
Yeah.
And next off, the pressure is just getting bigger and bigger. The stakes are higher and higher. This is the funny thing. The stakes are getting higher. Everybody can feel it, right? But you don't actually know what you're gambling for.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We may be taking the Bago out on our own after this week because I
I'll
guess
tell you
we'll see
one idea that I had that would have been really fucking cool if you had done it while you were in that other Earth for a little while. If you had tried contacting Scylla, that Scylla would have gone, "Who is this? How did you get this number?"
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess we see what happens with your phone call and then like where that leaves us again in the moment. Because his thought was just again to do some sort of like guerrilla style shoot with like the phone can and be like, hey, big things coming up, blah, blah, blah. Things have been crazy, you know, whatever. And, you know, like just doing some sort of like gonzo thing that was like, you know, 10 or 15 minutes just to get something new and original out. And then like, that's it. Like, but then this whole other thing, because he clearly had no idea. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah. And the day gets away from you when your best friend is passing out on the sidewalk and you're entering multiple realities for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she would understand it on some level because she's experienced it. Like she went to the heart of the fucking universe and came back out, right? So like I feel like she has at least a little bit of a touchstone into like you guys.
She has no idea what you're going through right now. You haven't told her anything.
No, but I'm saying if he calls her back, like if Reggie's on the phone with Cordoba and then he calls her back to be like, hey babe, I don't know, I don't know what's going on. I didn't realize, blah, blah, blah. This is what's happening. That she would be like, oh, you're fucking crazy. Right? Because she knows at least a little bit that things aren't as they seem necessarily. You know what I mean? Like having been through the cow. Like,
yeah, but she doesn't know that
she doesn't know right now, but I'm saying if I call her is what I'm saying and like explain like, hey, this is what's happening. She wouldn't be like, oh, you're fucking crazy.
Okay, but it is one level of unknown weirdness to say, hey, babe, sorry, there's assassins after me and my friends. It's a whole other level of weirdness to say, hey, babe, sorry, reality is kind of jumping around like for no reason.
True.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like all of the other worlds and the multiversal cow and everything like that, that's all real to a certain extent and like almost proven already. Like people, she's been to other worlds already. Yeah. Like, so all that kind of stuff is, even with the multiversal cow being more theoretical, it's still like it's more theoretical, at least from the way I get it. It's theoretical in terms of like, we know it exists. We just don't know exactly what it is. It's like the Big Bang or like the extinction of the dinosaurs. Like we have a really good idea, but we don't know exactly what happened.
You get inside a machine to go there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't just come to you.
Yeah. Whereas what we just did, there's no premise for at all. It's literally never happened and nobody's ever talked about it before.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's yes.
Yes. That would be the difference right there, sir. Yes.
Yeah. No, I get it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe we shoot session and it'd be the end, but like if he at the beginning, like what the fuck happens by the end of the episode to go like wrap that as a season, or we just wait to see sort of how things play out.
Maybe that just becomes evident by the phone conversation. I mean, it doesn't have to be the last thing, it could be what leads into the last thing.
Yeah, it might. And the seasons are not of identical length. It's just kind of getting around the same length. It doesn't. Yeah. I'm not really prickly about the exact number of sessions, but I do kind of feel like if we're thinking in seasons, we have kind of played this scenario out for a little while. We've got the three of you. Trae is well established. You're no longer part of dark matter, and we've caught you in this somnambula thing for a while. You haven't actually left the planet Earth for 3 or 4 sessions now. probably time to
Well, technically,
find.
we just did.
Oh yeah, that's true. But my point is just from like a showrunner's standpoint, right? Probably time to wrap this part up. We've had this flavor for a little while, right?
Yeah.
And so it might be cool. Here's GM meta stuff, but it's not like you guys haven't had similar thoughts. If we can somehow get either closure or a next level on the whole somnambula thing, that seems like that would be a way to wrap up a season.
Agreed.
I just had a thought. So we have the meeting, right? So we set up a meeting. We tell them we want to meet at whatever park or whatever. We go in the Bago. We get them to get in the Bago, and then we fucking slip off the planet with them in the fucking Bago.
Wow.
Right?
Oh,
I'm so glad you didn't say this during the play stream. This is a fucking amazing idea that you should explore much further because it's fucking cool.
But would he get in the Bago? That's the question, right?
Yeah,
alone. Like, would he get
you'd probably have to dart him.
Maybe
how suspicious is the Bago from the outside?
The wings retract, right? So
it's just a probably. I don't think it looks any different than any other luxury vehicle. I think that was the idea behind it. Yeah.
You don't see it every day. You don't see one that nice every day, but you've seen them.
And the wings retract, right? So like it's not out like it looks like it's gonna go flying somewhere.
It's like a fucking yacht. It's like a land yacht rolling down the freeway.
Yeah.
Not out of the ordinary. So for Reggie to roll up in one of these things, it's like, okay, I can see this.
I get it.
What else would a crazy dude with a ton of cash do?
The land, the Bago is probably something that I would be more likely to see because I live only 10, 12 miles from the Las Vegas Strip. So in Vegas, you can probably rent those things.
Yeah.
They don't slip to other dimensions, but
it's like a land-based party barge.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's got bedrooms and a bar and everything.
Yep.
It's got all the things.
Yeah, so a crazy person like Reggie who suddenly came into a shit ton of cash by working at Dark Matter. Clearly, that's what he would buy.
for Nash.
Yeah, because I mean, he would come to a meeting. I'm assuming with security.
Yeah,
I mean,
so we have to take out.
Yeah, I think that you could say his tone on the phone sounded, almost frightened. He was so anxious that it was more like he felt more nervous than angry. He was angry, but
he doesn't understand what's going on.
Something is happening over there, and he doesn't know what the fuck it is. And it's literally scaring him.
Yeah, so I think Reggie's phone call, and then maybe Reggie suggests a meeting then to share information or however you want to frame it.
Okay.
Now I don't know if we can get him in the Bago from there.
I don't know, man.
We can revisit. Listen, excuse me. I think. I know. I think I think whatever happens. I think what's going to happen is going to come out on that phone call. Whether it's we meet with him or whether we hash it out right there. I just think Reggie can probably get to the bottom of it if he hears his voice. If we're reading it right, if it's me who's talking to him, I think we get more of a clue.
Well, Reggie, when Reggie was in the body of other Reggie, you heard voices and stuff from outside, right?
I don't know that I heard voices. Did I hear voices?
You heard these two. Yeah.
Oh, I heard. I'm sorry. Yeah, I heard you guys. Yeah.
But
you heard us.
Being watched.
And I heard the pain.
That's right.
On the other side,
he was being watched by someone else, though. It wasn't you guys.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And I did hear the pings on that side, in the goo side, in the goo world.
Yeah,
The
it just seems like
goo.
something's being unsettled for whatever the reason is that's causing this reaction, this thing to take place that they were unexpected, that they hadn't expected. And now things are like getting out of hand.
Yeah.
And he's not really sure because like he thinks he knows what he wants and like, oh, I need to collect these dreamers and blah blah blah, and like, oh, I gotta get this guy. But then things start to unravel, and that's like, oh fuck, now what?
We've uncorked something. How do we?
Yeah. You don't know what caused it to become uncorked. Whether it was literally you, like reaching out, or something you said, or something you did.
No idea.
Or something outside, some externality that lined up. Like the planets happened to be in the right position or whatever. But at that moment, while you were passed out on the sidewalk, entering another reality, something scary was happening inside Somnambula.
Oh, nice.
Do we know, like, is it completely unheard of? Like, so you could slip, right? And it's generally in our own universe, even if it's far edges or whatever. But has anyone ever jumped into another timeline like we did before? Okay, so that's not an uncommon thing.
Yeah, you can go to a world where, Germany won World War II. That's a thing that exists.
Okay, so it wouldn't be out of the question for them to be like, fuck, it's just going to be such a pain in the ass to grab this guy. Let's jump to the other line and snatch him because they don't know what's happening because their timeline is different. So, like, we may be able to just ask him to go for a fucking ride and, like, snatch the other Reggie because why would they not do it? Because they don't have we don't have the same relationship. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. The guy in the... Oh, shit. The guy who I didn't get
but you don't know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that was was happening then? If I just shut up for a second? I don't know.
He had indicated that they were going to take care of it, which is vague and doesn't really tell us anything. So there's still a third party in the background doing something, potentially.
Oh, my God.
And maybe they fucked something up. I mean, we don't know what he was going to do.
There's also a maybe clue of a little bit on a second on the B story where Trae in the other reality got a message from a classmate that told him, "You're not really cut off. That's a fake."
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the other reality.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was the other reality.
Right.
Wow, how weird is that?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Okay, so but we don't know that, right? Only Trae knows.
No.
Wait a minute. So maybe his clutch has something to do with what's going on because they specifically contacted him in the other reality, and then the messages switched back to the way they were before.
So how do we know that they didn't know that was happening and knew they were talking to other reality Trae?
Because remember, other reality Trae did not join up with you. There was no record of him with you guys or with Dark Matter.
Well, you don't know if this is other reality Trae or other reality Trae.
Right,
yeah.
We have no idea.
Or like a fourth reality that we haven't decided, haven't figured it out yet.
There's an infinite number of realities.
Just how far from this reality was that one? How many points of divergence are there? We know the few.
Oh, I got to go back in. Reggie has to go back in. Sorry.
I mean, shit, the world that we went to before with Charlie, we have no idea if Trae even existed. I could never been born.
That's right.
I mean, it's possible, I guess, yeah.
That fucking Charlie was the cat guy, right?
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Jinxie.
Charlie played joke.
King baby. I went along with so much shit just to get out of that world. Call me
It was
King Baby.
hysterical. Those episodes are fucking hysterical,
Oh,
man.
They were a lot
Charlie,
of- oh my God,
You
so fun.
and you let him do it.
But then, like, he came. Yeah, that was another. Okay, we don't need to talk about fucking Charlie anymore. But that
King Baby.
he did something. Like, he fucked with something back then. So
You love me, King Baby.
Charlie was
wanna
able
see
to
you again.
purposely divert our slipping.
I don't know if it was purposefully.
I think he was just
No, he
playing.
said
like,
he-
was just
yeah.
fucking with us. Yeah, like it
No,
wasn't
but
like
that's the thing is that he was screwing with, and he knew.
Yeah.
Remember when we came back and we're all like fucking
Yeah.
out of our minds?
he was
He
gloating.
was like, "Ha ha, gotcha!"
he was like,
Oh,
he
yeah,
purpo-
yeah, yeah.
he was pimping it. He was
purposely,
like, yeah.
boom, he purposely bumped us over
yeah,
in the
yeah,
slip.
yeah.
Oh, what an asshole.
Which is not to say that he necessarily knew where he was sending you.
Yeah,
All
or
he
even
knew
what
was that he was
doing. Yeah, like
all he
just-
knew is that he was messing with you.
Yeah.
Just giving us a nudge. I love it and I hate it.
We're actually about all the shit that they did, like when you were on that moving platforms and jumping from pole to pole and all this, all the shit that they pulled off were like really unlikely. They would toss the stone up in the air and it comes down, and instead of landing this way or that way, it lands like standing upright.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like everything those guys did, it was like probable, but not very probable, but then it would happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were playing with the chances of things. Their power is to mess with the probability of stuff. So that's exactly what you're doing when you're like dialing in the coordinates. You're dealing with the probabilities of multiple timelines and how to zero in on it. And you just gave it a little nudge
Fucking
to make
cats.
this
Yep, he
weird
kicked
thing
he
more
kicked that 7
probable
to an 8.
than the
Yep.
normal thing. Yeah.
If that planet and that those cat people become some sort of like central pivotal point in this whole goddamn web, I
That would be the
will
most amazing thing ever.
lucid dream that
Oh.
world out of existence.
Yeah, you probably should, if you look in the Golden Age Adventures book, because actually it's based on one of the stories from Golden Age Adventures. The original story that it's based on, it's like the one guy, the ship is destroyed. One guy barely manages to escape with his life and parachutes down into the Alps, and he's like, all of his bones are broken, and he doesn't have anything to eat, and he's crawling to try to make it to an outpost, and he's tape recording into, like, he hopes somebody finds this tape because he's trying to warn people about these Chingsy guys. I don't know how it works, but they think it's tremendously funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you better hope that they don't become pivotal in the campaign.
I don't. Yes, I will have my 11 possibility in lucid dreaming. Then we can go back and unravel their reality. We'll nudge them. Then they'll
Nudge
see.
their whole reality.
Oh,
This is something that Reggie can. I don't want to get too deep in this, but I mean, it's like Reggie can probably identify this. You got lucid dreaming. You got reality bending to your will. Okay, so what the Chingsy do is they play with probability. They can mentally make an unlikely thing more probable than a likely thing if they focus, and it's a skill that they have. Okay, now imagine, Reggie, you in the future with an even greater developed lucid dream, kind of like a Chingsy. You can make happen the weird thing that you want to make happen. Okay, now if that you have to work for and roll the dice, and you can get a nosebleed and harm yourself. But let's say if you're a Chingsy, you could do it without even hurting yourself. Now I'm living that way for years. Imagine living that way your whole life.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Reality is to just fucking make whatever happen you want to have. Okay, from the standpoint of any more limited mortal person, you're a fucking nutbag. You're crackers. You're insane.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's where you're going.
Yeah.
That's where you're headed, Reginald Carlisle.
I am Chinksy. I am. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah, I don't know if I can top that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
I think we do have. I think our next step is somnambula. I think we have to. So my not an issue, but my thought is like it's especially with what just happened. It's one thing to get Cordoba, right? And like you can get him and you can talk to him and do anything you want, but we also have the potential of there being a second Reggie in our existence, and we know exactly where he is. So like getting to Cordoba doesn't like what does it get us closer to that? Do we want to get closer to that?
Well, so twofold, right? We don't know if we can bring the Reggies together because that could
Or if we want to, right?
undo things or cause a rift or whatever. If we get to Cordoba and tell them like, hey, this isn't gonna fucking work. You're breaking the world. Like try to like it's gonna end badly for everybody, regardless of what you want. This is gonna fuck everything up.
Right.
You need to send the other Reggie back.
Right. Like that bad thing that you're worried about that just happened. We don't know how it happened.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't make it happen.
Yeah, like I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like tell me what I did.
So I mean, he may be a shitty person, but he's still concerned for his own well-being. So like, if the world ends, that's bad for him too. If we turn him in and be like, hey, he's doing all this fucking shady shit, and like we've got the proof. That's also bad for him.
Well, true,
right.
But you're kind of assuming that he's like, and I'm not saying he's not, but you are assuming that he's sane and not willing to do a Rick Sanchez on this reality. I mean, Cordoba himself could simply jump to another timeline, kill that Cordoba, and take his place.
Yeah, I mean,
it's if you look at it from a real world perspective. So we had scientists that created the atomic bomb, right? And they purposely did. So what if the atomic bomb accidentally happened? Do you think we'd be like, oh shit, we better not do anything to recreate that? Or do you think that Cordoba, knowing if we went to him and we're like, all right, listen, this shit happened with Reggie, like, we created the atomic bomb, and then what happened? Other countries, other nations were like, well, shit, we need to start recreating that. Yeah. So if we gave the Cordoba the piece of like, hey, this happened to Reggie, this shit happened, it can't, or we might undo reality. We don't necessarily know, like it kind of went to Todd. Like, we don't necessarily know if he'd be like, well, shit, I guess I need the other Reggie then, because I need that weapon. Yeah. If I have both pieces of the puzzle, I can now I can better control and better manipulate the situation to control the outcome.
Yeah, like all corporations, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a power-hungry motherfucker, but but Cordoba is like at least from like, correct me if I'm wrong. He's like
with access to the dreams of mankind,
right? But he's like B level. Like he's not like a top tier, super rich, like super fate. Like he's more he's more niche, right? Like getting Reggie and being able to control this type of event is what could pop him.
Yeah, he's like
the top.
He's like Elon Musk level, but he's not like Illuminati level.
Right. Whereas having the Reggies could have that effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which could be the whole reason behind it, right?
Dark matter is a global, powerful corporation with let's say flexible ethic. But they're, and I don't want to say scared, but they don't really want to mess with Somnambula. It's
Right.
like there's almost an equivalency of power there.
Mm-hmm.
And Bento was like, political reasons, I really can't get involved.
Yeah.
Which if Somnambula was much less powerful than dark matter, probably political reasons wouldn't really matter much. I mean, anybody can step on him. It's going to be somebody. But it's not like that. He's powerful enough to give Bento a little pause.
But he's also not, Somnambula isn't a corporation that
he's not as
runs
powerful
its
as the
own
people
district and all that kind of shit.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not as powerful as the people who own the Clatch that Trae comes from.
Right. But he's still powerful enough, and knowing what just happened and being able to control what just happened could bump him up to the level that he probably wants to be at.
Yeah, I mean, he's slowly becoming more powerful as the campaign progresses. If you look at the campaign in terms of, or if you look at Somnambula over the course of the whole 3 seasons, it's like the first season was, from Cordoba's point of view, the first season was about him discovering that he could even do this, that there in fact was a way to pinpoint a world and identify it with a known dreamer, and then you kind of know what to expect before you went there, right? And so that was the first season. It's brand new. It's the first time it worked. He was probably surprised that it worked, and that's what dragged Nash in and dragged Reggie in. And the show goes off in its own direction. But meanwhile, over there in the corner, the Dream Deck 5 was released in season 2. And now the Dream Deck 6 is out. Every time he does that, they're getting more powerful. And he's getting more powerful. So, from his point of view, the last 3 seasons are about him raising 2 levels. And you guys keep on fucking circling around and messing with his plans, or being the factor that he can't
quantify,
control. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, do we just kill him then?
Yeah.
I don't know that Nash would necessarily be opposed to it at this point. Like, he literally put a contract out on the 3 of us.
Right.
He stole my girlfriend. Just fucked all that stuff up. I mean, we're not murderers, but all right. So but Jesse, like you said, if we're, my pie in the sky thought is like, hey, if we just explain the situation, hey, like, you're gonna fuck the whole world up, like, he wouldn't do it. But like you said, it could be like, oh, all right, well, I grab both Reggies and jump to another fucking timeline. Like, you guys are fucked.
Right.
So, like, killing him maybe is the only fucking option.
Okay.
Cronenberg, Reggie.
I know at a game, we've talked about what path to take, right? And so we have in regards to what do we have time for in game time, right? We have the Slothrop thing with and everything, and then we have the Somnambula thing and Reggie and everything. All right. How interested would maybe some Slothrop follower people be in taking down Somnambula?
Ooh.
Maybe finding this guy isn't necessarily stopping, but recruiting?
That is fucking...
The enemy of my enemy is my enemy still, but also my friend.
If you need to take down a corporation.
Yeah, when you're doing your research on Slothrop, you find that is in fact their number one MO is to blow up a corporate headquarters. That's
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what they love to do. So that's a very interesting idea. Yeah.
But shit.
See, but I like it. The problem would be then, like, Nash wouldn't want, like, we're trying to prevent them from killing a bunch of children because clearly they don't give a shit about anybody.
Mhm.
So if they want to blow up the building, like, okay, that's cool if Cordoba's in it, but we don't want to kill like 300 other people who are working in the building.
I mean, it's kind of like a Death Star situation, isn't it?
It's the trolley problem.
I mean, kind of. I mean, but then again, it's all like, if there's any loss of innocent life, then no, it's not worth it. Is that what we are? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, Nash wouldn't be in for that. If they wanted to target, if we could get them to target Cordoba in particular, you know, bomb in his room, you know, they dress up as Jan, you like however the fuck they figure it out, or blow up his car, or blow up the building after hours. Hopefully nobody's there.
Yeah, right. You shouldn't have been there.
I mean, they'd have security, I guess, at night.
Right.
And, yeah, I would say that
custodial staff.
After hours, the only people in the building are the lowest level workers.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Nash wouldn't be down for that. I mean, that goes well above and beyond. I think the means that are just like I don't those aren't the kind of people that they are.
Oh, I totally agree with you. But let me just put this on the table at the same time, because if you did blow up the headquarters, you would destroy not only Cordoba, but that whole fucking manufacturing plant where these dream decks get churned out thousands a day.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that's not their only manufacturing plant. I mean, I have no way to know that, but like they're not just turning out Fords at one factory in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like there's
right
stuff all over.
Well, yes, I mean that's to a certain, but if you look at it more so of like game consoles, like, and even with like the PS5. Like they make those in like 1 or 2 factories.
That's fair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially as fucked up as the world is now, right? Because like there's
plus this is not
water.
This is not the kind of commodity where, like Cordoba is not the kind of guy either who would let some other company handle the software inside this fucking thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's only his people.
It's all proprietary.
Yeah.
From ground up.
That also would eliminate the problem of Reggie's data if it's still in the building but off the server.
Yep. But do we want that data?
Kind of want that data.
All right. Well, how about this? Maybe not in as much as we get their assistance to blow up the building, but they might know tactics for possible infiltration and access, and they could be like a fence for getting the explosives and everything like that. Because like, how likely is it that Reggie, that Nash could like actually get his hands on what we need to blow this place up?
Through Bento, probably pretty easy.
Yeah.
Ex-military contacts.
Yeah, true. Maybe, yeah.
You'd have to launder a lot of money, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, not that it would be easy necessarily. I mean, Bento would be his first thought. And I don't know that he has explosive. Like, they have firearms and whatever, but...
Right, yeah.
I don't know that he's got, like, C4 laying. But they could get...
Hey, you know what?
They're literally off fighting a war.
Take a quick slip over to Unaris B and buy a bunch of weapons off the lobster people.
Yeah, we'll see how they're making out.
Right.
Damn, man. Yeah, the world is big and getting bigger, but at the same time zeroing in.
Right.
Ever since season 1, episode 1, Somnambula Inc. is at the center of this, and you're gonna have to deal with them one way or another.
It's like when you start swirling a pool. Like at
I
first,
thought you were gonna say toilet bowl. We've been swirling around the toilet.
Similar.
Yeah, maybe.
You know how like at first like the swirl on the top and the bottom are pretty much the same size. But as it starts spinning faster and getting bigger, the top starts opening up, but at the same time the funnel point at the bottom starts closing in.
Black hole.
Everything is expanding outwards, but it's all funneling to a more specific point.
Yes.
I dig it.
Like some kind of flux storm.
Weird.
Wow.
Well, we've got a lot of shit on the table. I guess we'll have to take this on fucking side channel to like mull some of these things over because I don't know. Because if he's really, really a bad dude, then just like, I mean, I think still Reggie makes a phone call, but I don't think then maybe talking to him changes anything.
I don't think it does. I just think it makes it. I think
it solidifies it, honestly.
Sure, like one way or another.
I mean, if there was a way we could
but so
snatch
would
him,
showing up at his office, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was my other thought. Just to walk in and be like, "Oh, we have an appointment."
All right.
He's expecting us.
I'm not sure if we want to, and I'm not sure the logistics, like the actual game logistics of how we would do it. But like, what if we show up and like Nash and Reggie go to talk to him, but Trae kind of uses Reggie. I mean, I have an employee ID now.
Yeah.
So like we're all in the building together, but you two are overt while Trae is covert, and I can kind of try to get.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're ghosting the party. This is like classic Shadowrun shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that too. I mean,
would we have to
You
have
have done that
to
before.
protect
Remember,
ourselves?
Julio ghosted you guys the first time you went in.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like you stayed in radio contact, and you'd be like, "Okay, the 2 doors down to the left, that's going to open up in a minute."
Yeah. Would Trae be able to, like, he has her ID? Could he access their stuff inside the building while he's outside the building, or would he have to be inside as well?
It's a closed system.
Okay.
If you guys were able to get in and install I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they were able to install a net point.
A data spike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Almost like, just like a little Wi-Fi USB almost. Plug it into a computer.
I mean, if you like fucking shaved your head or bleached your hair, put on a pair of glasses. Like if you came in after we came in, there's a potential that you could just sort of meander to a terminal and see how far you could get before somebody was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing?"
No, like I said, I have her ID, so I could legit just go. I could scan myself in, get into the building, and then hope I don't get caught.
But if they have a regular, but yes,
No,
right?
I am going to correct you. I'm looking back over the notes from that episode, and it really does seem that the intent of what you were doing was to be able to not just physically represent her, but cybernetically as well. Because the whole idea at the time was that from outside, going alone, because you had now separated from Jack and Reggie.
Yep.
That you were going to find a way to hack in there yourself. But we never talked about you going physically inside the building. However, I did note that you can piggyback on Callista Kinnear's account to get inside the building's cyber systems. So I'm going to say it's not a closed system. There's like some sort of RFID chip inside that her card, which is also represented by an ID that's mobile. So you can fake being her mobile ID. Mm-hmm. You could be calling in from work to log in to get her messages or whatever. From there, you could try to hack your way to the admin level. Yeah. And if you succeed in that, then you could get anywhere throughout the building, except for the data sphere that's removed from the network.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So what if that's how that played out then, is we just walk in, but at the same time, you're doing that stuff. And it's almost sort of like a misdirection. I don't know if I don't even know if it would be that specific, but and so we're instead of us actually going in and trying to accomplish anything, it's basically just stalling so that you can do your thing.
Oh, yeah, all sorts of. You could
that was my thought.
You could like set an alarm at the other side of the building.
Yeah,
you know,
but we'd have to have some sort of a protective thing where it's like, hey, anything happens to us, you know,
you could hack the food printer in the lunchroom so that it bursts into flames.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I mean, when I thought that I was going in alone, I had so when he was because it's a physical sphere that he needs. So I was planning on going. I actually had to go in to get that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had plans of of at first, backdooring into the system using her ID,
softening the target.
Exactly. Yeah. Go in, get into the security system. Maybe because I know they probably have facial recognition.
Leave a few doors open.
Exactly. Yep. Make sure that my face is like blurred from the system so that they can't automatically ping me when I walk through the doors.
Or tag to a fictitious name.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So I had all that can still happen while you guys are also doing.
Yeah.
Well, so the facial recognition can be thrown off with the Juggalo shit, right? So we already established that you could do like a hollow face sort of thing. The problem being that the facial recognition would pick it up. But if you fucking Juggaloed up your face, put the fake face over top of it, it might not match, but it also would pin as you because it wouldn't recognize.
I'm also trying, like, if I walk into Somnambulite like that, security would, like, there's also physical security that you have to worry about.
But you have the hollow face on, right? So you could get the what is it? It's like an AR or VR overlay or whatever. So like your face would look like her maybe, but underneath,
but not really real. It still looks like a holograph.
Okay. I thought it was more than that.
No, it's like if you're wearing a rubber mask. They can't see your face, but they know it's a rubber mask.
Okay. Yep.
Although, layering it up is a good idea. You probably read Eyewitness in the second Ubiquitous City book. That's exactly what the criminals there do. They have VR false representations, but underneath that they have masks, so that both levels of the system are confused.
Yeah,
right.
And I mean, so there's probably a high-level version of an AR mask that does look very realistic, but
they had one of the Mission Impossible. They had them.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's actually what I was thinking. It's like there's like the rubber masks that you can normally buy, but then there's like if you are actually doing spy level infiltration, then there might possibly be like something, but that's absolutely nothing that Trae would be able to get a hold of.
I wonder if we could through Scylla with her industry contacts as far as like television and stuff to be able to get like a legitimate like movie quality like makeup artist or whatever to like do the
prosthetic.
Let's see how that situation ends out before we say, hey, can we get one of these like really cool mask things? While she's like worrying about you.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean that's even to say whether or not physical security cares. Like they see how many hundreds of, if not, hundreds of people coming in and out of that building all the time. Do they pay attention to every single worker? Especially when they have, especially when they have a system that scans every single person's face.
Well, yeah.
Like
it's not super huge. They've probably got, I don't know, 200 or 300 employees. I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
it's not an impossibly large number,
right? But when it's like how we don't remember. Well, at least I don't. Like, how you don't remember phone numbers anymore because it's all programmed in your phone. Like, so a security person nowadays, like they probably pay attention to people's faces and everything because they kind of have to. But when that job is supplanted by a camera system doing facial recognition 24/7, they don't need to do that anymore. So they're probably not paying as much attention to everybody that goes in and out of the building.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably fine. Unless A, they happen to know the name of the person whose ID they're looking at.
Very true, yep.
Or B, if there's some obvious mismatch, like the fact that
she's a woman and I'm not.
She's female. Yeah.
The other option, Trae, for you to get in would be to go in like as the fucking UPS guy. Be like, I gotta, take these fucking packages upstairs or whatever,
Yeah. Now, I'll also drop this into Nash's head because he would probably entertain it for at least 1 second. You do happen to know a female who said she'd help if you needed it. Lil Kim.
But she's off. They're all off planet.
That's true.
I mean, it occurred that I think we actually maybe even said it in one of the other episodes that like, I think Nash brought it up like, hey, Duke said that, they're willing to take another run at it, but like they're not here.
Yeah. Yeah. They'd have to like go MIA and sneak off to do a mission for you.
That would be super pissed, especially if we all got caught. Like that's just not a, I respect the, we'll help you do the thing, but like I also
not at the expense of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty risky. That's true.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just throwing it all out there. The world is a big place. I can promise you this. It's just going to get bigger.
Fuck.
Awesome. Awesome.
But that's just like the world today. I mean, if you wanted to look for examples of injustice to make you feel guilty about not getting up off your ass and doing something about it, you really don't have to look very far. It's right fucking there for you. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one.
Yeah. I don't know, like, that we want to get super caught up in the Slothrop stuff, but because Reggie has specific information,
right?
Like, we have to do something because we're those people.
That's why I kind of thought, like, if we know who that guy is, at least seeing what the deal is, like, because it's a couple of images. I mean, yeah, it looks bad, like with kids walking into a building and that building blowing up. But Reggie can't say for certain that what he's seeing is like the actual reality of what's happening. It just looks bad, so that's kind of a driving force behind it.
I mean, I think Nash would be more than likely to beat him to death because he was going to blow up a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think Reggie's would let that happen.
Well, clearly, from what you know about Slothrop and their MO, the kids are not the target. The kids are collateral damage. It's
Yeah.
the building. It's the building that's the target.
Right,
The
right.
kids just happen to be there.
It's like the Oklahoma City thing. The guy wanted to blow up a federal building, not necessarily the preschool that was underneath, but
Right.
it's not inexcusable.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter your intent. You still
Yeah.
did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great metaphor for a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, Nash would be all down for murder on that guy.
Well, maybe you can find him then. Maybe your next step is going to
I think-
seeing if you
I
can
don't think
find this fucker.
I don't think that's a bad idea to start. You know, I mean, like it's because we're sort of aligned in purpose. It would seem. So, you know, I mean, yeah, if we find out something that's reprehensible and we have to step in, that complicates things. But we're
Because
aligned in purpose.
We
Well, you know, it hasn't happened yet because it hasn't been in the news yet. Okay.
Right.
It's bright. It's probably morning or no later than noon in Reggie's vision.
Yeah.
It didn't happen today. It may be tomorrow, maybe a week from now. You don't know, but it seems to be in the morning.
It
And
may
it
be in
didn't
another
happen today.
reality.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we potentially have the guy's location based on where he got picked up and dropped off at.
Right.
But we don't have any information to like turn him into the police, right? Like we can't be like, oh, so yeah, my buddy had this vision that like this guy was going to blow up a building with a bunch of kids and stuff. Like that's not.
That's how probable cause works, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you, we're grasping at straws on possible branches that we may not even explore. But going on this branch for a minute, if you found the guy or found where he lived, then maybe you could get that laptop. That laptop has the software to set off the bomb.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
provable material fact.
Right. But
I think in the Shadow Guns chat, we put together a game plan.
Well, but like, but say we did that, right? So say we go in, we grab the guy, we beat the ever loving fuck out of him. We get the laptop, we have the proof. None of that's admissible in court.
Never,
That guy
never, they would
completely
never
right.
allow that. Within
Like,
3
there's
blocks of the
no-
court.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no. It's kill him, turn him to have him maybe blow up Cordoba.
Or use it against him. Yeah, like, be like, hey, do this for us.
I mean, if you're a crazy anarchist that doesn't care if they blow up kids, like, there's not a lot of options for negotiation.
Right. Well, I mean, you can find something. You can find some lever to pull or some,
Do we know? We don't know what the target is, do we?
I don't think I recognize the building. No.
No, but now that you've got a bunch of photo evidence and stuff, you've got the dream deck. Trae could.
Oh, yeah. You could probably reverse engineer.
Man, I can't believe
Yeah.
we didn't agree. Yeah.
And we know it's probably a corporate building, right? It's not specifically a school. It's not a grocery store. It's not a.
Yeah, we did actually touch on this last time around. It's almost certainly on the west side of town, because just judging from the architecture, it's too nice to be Bosing or Darova or Sunridge.
Yeah.
So you've got you narrowed it down to half the town already.
And we have to assume it's a corporate building, so that probably knocks out another half, 3/4.
Yeah, you don't have to scan residential districts or parks or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, chances are good Trae can identify that using, a combination of programming skills plus the future equivalent of Google Street View.
Right.
Which now you can look in people's windows and shit and see what they're watching.
Like live, not like when the car happened to go by it.
Right,
Video
yeah.
Yeah, right.
months ago.
They have drones constantly circling the
constant.
city, always
I'm just gonna be
updating.
like watching through my neighbor's window because I don't have HBO.
Oh, shit. Fuck. All right. Well, we've got a lot to mull over in between now and next month.
Right.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to come up with some kind of a workable plan, or at least like an ABC. So we.
I'm thinking ABC.
Yeah.
But all right.
Cool.
I am going to fall over in my chair with tiredness.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for another wonderful session.
for the first day back to school.
Oh, that's right.
Right on. All right. I'm gone.
Yes, think of it.
Good night,
Todd,
my
I want to
dudes.
say I hate the fact that was you winging it. I hate that you're off.
Oh, all right. I'll take that.
All right. Take it easy.
Night,
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Yeah. Say, I'm going to jump out of here.